I think we're live. All right. I did the live. I did the let's go. Hopefully it's working. I don't know. I see live counting. Looks like 80 people in here already. Y'all are awesome. What's happening, Fish and Friends? Somebody let me know, as always, in the comments if we are working or not, because I don't want to talk if we're not working. You know how that goes.
I mean, we're technically even working, are we?
Nah, I don't know that I'd call it working, Bob.
Yeah, right.
Says it's live, says it's working, says what's up. All right, we are good. What's happening, Fish and Friends? Welcome to another live. Tonight was kind of a, I asked my buddy Fat Boy Fishing, Nick, who was I was talking to earlier, he's already in here. He said, you're good to go. I was like, what should we do? He's like, dude, do some budget gear talk. I'm like, man, we did some budget gear talk, like some gear talk 3 times in a row. And Randall and I were talking about that. We're like, yeah, let's switch it up. So the title of today's stream, people are probably wondering, what the hell does that mean? Lure colors, fishing slumps, and bullies. And no, I didn't spell bullies wrong. I knew what I was doing there. So the joke for that today was I figured out that like Randizzle when he talks has an uncanny resemblance to just like a big bullfrog out there. Because anytime I heard him talking, all I heard was meow, meow, meow.
I mean, did you hear the things that you were saying though?
No, I couldn't hear. I couldn't hear over your bullfrog voice. And it's kind of a double. What is it? A double innuendo or whatever that is. Because Randy's also a bully. He bullies me essentially the whole time we're fishing. So it's
really?
Like what is that called? I forget what that's called. I'm not an English major.
I mean, I'd rather be a bully than labeled as a poacher.
Oh my gosh. He thinks I poach fishing spots. How can I poach fishing spots with a Babe Winkleman chest hair show like that? I just need a sweet gold chain.
Yeah,
we're just talking about Babe today. No, I don't wear any sort of jewelry except my wedding ring. I'm not a jewelry guy. I used to always wear a watch. I used to be a huge watch guy. Yeah. And it just kind of like fell off. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't know why, but
I even have like, I got into what are they, G-Shocks for a minute. And I have like 3 or 4 G-Shocks, and I don't know where they are, but I just don't wear them. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think it's because of these. Like, I have a watch. I have everything I need in this, and I think the watch just kind of went to the wayside having these things. But all right, so anyway, yeah, some people say I might be lagging. I've actually got the internet people coming Monday. What is Monday? Tomorrow or tomorrow's Sunday? Monday. I've only had 1 video this week. I only had 1 video last week. It took like 2.5 days to upload a video, which usually it takes like a 15-minute video takes like 2.5 hours on my internet. I've got like the high-speed stuff. I don't know what the hell's going on.
This entire time.
No, it's been you. You've got Walmart internet. But
dude, I've been using my Wi-Fi, or not Wi-Fi, but I've been just using my cellular.
Well, you got Walmart cellular. You got that Cricket phone. You got Walmart internet.
It's the jitterbug phone. Come on.
That's fine. There's nothing wrong with Cricket phones or Walmart. We're just teasing here. But all right, so tonight we're talking lure colors, fishing slumps, and if you have a hornswoggling bully friend, I do. So don't feel alone. There's help out there. If you need to talk to Debo, I'm here to talk to you about that. But okay, so lure color. So we got kind of on the kick of lure color. I didn't prepare anything for a giveaway. I still owe giveaways. I have everybody written here. I said I was going to get those out last week, didn't. Evan, G-Man, Jamfish Taco, Plum, Creek and Trail, Jonathan Thompson. I have everybody written here. I've not forgot about you guys. I am not one of these doofuses that will promise giveaways and doesn't do it. I am good for it, guys. It's just been super busy. The past couple weeks for me has been really hectic. Actually, my grandma passed away. I wasn't going to bring it up or anything. I've kind of been alluding to it. I'm better now. I'm not better, but my grandparents and I were super, super close. I grew up with my grandparents. I essentially lived with them in the summers. My parents both worked. So that was hard. I was pretty messed up, still kind of depressed over it, but I figured I'd let everybody know because I don't know how many people reach out to me on Instagram saying, dude, you alluded to something, with your family. I hope everything's okay. That's the way it goes. It sucks. The older I get, I understand the cycle of life and, that things like that are going to come. And when you're younger, you just think it's never going to happen to you and your family. Some people might have already, experience that, not to get on a downslope, but I'm an only child. I didn't grow up with brothers and sisters, so it was just my parents and my grandparents. That's it. I wasn't really close with my other grandparents, so sucks. But that's part of the growing up thing.
It sucks. It really sucks. I mean, and the crazy thing is, I always think of it's crazy. You usually have one or two different people, two different camps, I guess you could say. One person like yourself, who you're working on 40 years old, and this is like probably one of like the bigger incidences or adulting times that you've had to kind of work with at this point in time.
Yeah.
And then there's other people like just myself. Like as far back as I can have memories, I've had like family members, like funerals and stuff like that. I am the youngest as well. My older sister's 10 years older than me, so she's 50. Sorry, Michelle, if you're not watching, I don't care. I can say that she's 50, but so it's a 10-year gap. So my parents are in their 70s. It's a little bit different. So
yeah, and it's just like, I don't know. I won't get stuck on it, but I was pretty depressed. I cried my eyes out. Like, if you ever want to test, I'm not choking up right now. That was pop. But I mean, if you ever want to test a man, dude, family is everything. I bawled. I still like random times will just think about it, because like I don't regret anything. It's not like one of those things. It's like, oh, you'll regret not doing this and that. Nah, man. I love my grandma. My grandma loved me. I know we had that relationship. But the part that's so hard for me is I can never talk to her again. Like, I can never call her. I can never, when we go down there, she's not going to be there. It's like, that's what gets me, man. So, but anyway, we'll get off that. We're here to talk about fishing and good stuff. And honestly, I wanted to thank you all, because the past couple weeks getting on here, believe it or not, like, I was so depressed. I didn't even want to do lives and stuff. Randy's like, no, come on, man. Let's get on and talk through it. Randy's been a good dude. And all of you out there getting my mind off of it and fishing through not only this, but, through 2020 being shut down with Rona and just all the craziness in the world. Literally, fishing is an outlet for me. Like, going out, clearing my mind, whether it's with Randy, and we give each other crap. Like, if you listen to us off on the sidelines, you'd literally think we hate each other. Some friendships are like that. Some friends have that, and I'm all about getting digs on your good friends. Because if I like you, I'll do that, and if I don't like you, we're probably just not going to talk. But
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, sure, it's a dig, but it's not one of those, with salt and real deep type of cuts. It's just, surface cuts that are fun to mess around with,
Yeah, and it's fun to just like bring your what should I say, like your not good attributes to light, because I think it helps you like realize that, listen, it's not that big of a deal. Like, I've got a big nose. I got teased all the time in school for my big ears. I got called a monkey and stuff. And sometimes Randy will say that. He's like, oh, you can't hear me with your big ears, dummy. And I laugh now.
Okay, I've never said that once.
But really, it makes you laugh about stuff, and like, especially when you lose someone, like, you realize stuff's not that important. And when you go out and catch dinks, some people might be upset for a day of catching dinks. Like, dude, be thankful you're above ground. Be thankful you're out fishing, because we take that for granted. I had a family member, literally, my wife's family member, fell down the stairs and passed away, and he was like my parents' age. He fell down, broke his neck. Like, literally, you never know when your time's up. Like, it's crazy, dude. So I'm sorry, this live has gone downhill. We got a donation, and Tanner, thanks for saving us. Hope this is something about fishing. Anybody that donates, I appreciate you all so much. Donations help go to giveaways, other gear stuff that I can review. But really, it's been going to shipping. Shipping's crazy silly. Just to ship these giveaways, I'm sure I'll spend like $60-$70. I don't know. It's dumb. I don't know what they're doing in the shipping industry, but Tanner, so anybody that donates, I will be sure to highlight those questions, talk about them. And if you all have other questions related to lure colors, if you've been in a fishing slump, I actually just talked to somebody today who was in a fishing slump. We're going to talk about a couple of those things. Leave your questions over on the side in the comments. We're going to get to those. So Tanner said I would donate to the next stream. I used to be a pan fishing and catfishing guy, but y'all turned me into a bass addict. Thanks, Debo and Dizzle. Tanner, dude, any kind of fishing is good. Like, I don't really get into catfishing just because it's like throw stuff out and sit most of the time.
Right.
Like, I have to be actively doing stuff. So I have nothing wrong with catching bluegill and stuff where I can like cast and retrieve. But my favorite is bass fishing. So, still do your pan fish and catfish. throw a little bass in there. You know, when one's not biting, try to go for the other one. It's really just about going out, enjoying the outside, and getting a tug on the line. So
Even
thank you so
funner
much.
thing is don't change your rod and reel combo. Use that ultralight to try to catch them bass.
Oh, get a Barbie rod and try to get the 3 species challenge. That's the cool thing to do on the YouTube, I think, right?
Yeah, man, it's I've been thinking about it lately. You know, we run across different species all the time. I mean, just the other
Run
last
across what?
weekend, different species.
Oh yeah.
So last weekend you were throwing a weightless plastic and you caught a catfish.
Mr. Bass, my guy, Mr. Bass, I haven't seen him in here, but we did the tackle swap. Super nice guy, really knowledgeable. He's a gear nerd. He sent me some of the G-Crack bellows gills, and I was in a little bit of a slump, and I'm like, I'm going to throw some of these. And look what I caught. On a weightless bellows gill, I caught probably like, I don't know, 4-pound catfish. He was a chunky little cat.
He was
on a weightless soft plastic. Like, hell, it was fun.
And then what, today you ran across a couple of pike today, and
a couple pike. Love catching pike. They're fun.
Sometimes I just kind of want to get out there and like try to go for something different, you know. But at the same time, like, I got all this bass stuff. Is this bass stuff going to try to work for, you know, all this other stuff? And I don't want to necessarily go out and buy a bunch of different what's it called, like different combos and stuff, when I'm only going to be trying to fish for these random species every once in a while. So
yeah, like I get that question a lot. Like, if you could have a dream species, or a dream fishing trip for a different species, or what's your favorite species to catch besides bass? For sure, mine is pike. I love pike. They are fun, especially if you get pike on topwater. I had somebody message me the other day and was like, dude, I've never caught a pike on a frog, and that thing came out of the water like a dolphin and was pulling the weeds. I'm like, yeah, dude, it's totally fun. Just today I hooked a pike by some wood, and I knew it was a pike. As soon as it hit it, it took off like a dart. Like, that's why they call them slime darts. As soon as I caught it, I'm like, I told Randy, I'm like, oh, it's a pike. Like, you can just tell.
You can usually see, like, especially with like the topwater and stuff, the pike, you'll usually see a pike. And, well, I don't want to say all the time, but there's a better than not chance that if you see a big fish or you see a fish waking at your frog, it's probably going to be a pike, because they're just so aggressive. Yeah. And like a bass is usually kind of like from up below, versus a pike's just like, hey, dude, I'm coming at you. I'm going to get you.
I don't care. And they'll chase it. They'll chase it all the way to the bank. And we will. I'm getting too excited. We will be doing a giveaway tonight too. Now that we have a bunch of people on here, I alluded to what the giveaway question is going to be earlier, so don't be putting that in. Don't be trying to cheat the system here, Fishing Friends. I don't have anything planned, so it's just anybody. I don't have like 2 special giveaways tonight. So I will pick somebody. I'll write you down here, and it's just going to be a random box of stuff. I might throw one of my lures in. I don't know. I did open up my lure page, so thank you everybody who has purchased a lure from me. Y'all are awesome. DEBO'S, what is it? DEBO'sfishing.com. Let me look. I forget which one I grabbed. Hold on, let me check. That's sad. I don't even remember the name of my. It was between 2, and I couldn't get one.
Dang, you're behind on a couple
I know.
of donations.
I don't even know what my deal is.
What are you doing?
Oh, my girls are upstairs playing with the dog. Yeah, DEBO'sfishing.com. How cool is that? I never thought in a million years I'd have my own damn website. DEBO'sfishing.com. Grab a lure if you want one. Don't if you don't. I don't care. I'm not going to keep plugging it. Let's see. We got some cool folks in here giving donations. Let's get to these. These mean a lot to me. A lot of people saying sorry if you're lost. Thank you, everybody, for that. Like I said, thank you, everybody that reached out. Like, random people that I don't really know that well. You know, just we talk online, and that's what's awesome about the fishing community. You get some people out there that think they know everything, but for the most part, people are awesome. Adam, we've got our Guggen question for the live. We always get a Guggen question. Do I ever use Guggen? I do. I use Guggen stuff. We joke about it. We give them a hard time because it's like we always say you have to completely love Guggen or you can have to completely hate it. Randy's got some stuff that he likes, so I always tease him. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're just a Guggen fanboy. But he's got some things he likes. I like the trench hog, actually. I think it's a cool, different lure.
Yeah, the mini trench hog. I think it's, God, I don't even know what the size is, like 4.3 inches or 4.5 inches, something like that. The mini.
I like the big one. Yeah.
I really like the mini for a like a chatterbait or some kind of trailer like that. I think they work pretty good there.
Yep. And it's always like a give and take. I know people were bashing on the like the durability, but I mean it's the same thing as Yamamoto. It's the same thing as those G cracks. I was going through like a fish or a bite per lure, and those are like $10 for 5 or 6.
5 or 6,
Like crazy ridiculous. And they smell so good. It's like a shrimp
Oh god, so
popcorn.
gross,
They
man.
smell
Come on
so
now.
good. So yeah,
But
I have nothing against them. I think a lot of people are just like hate that they're YouTube people, and some of their videos are a little bit too silly for me. But you gotta appreciate their grind, man. If you look at some of their old videos, they were horrible. They were just kids that were stupid videos,
I
and
mean, I
they
do gotta
embraced the
say that,
grind. And
yeah, they really did. But then, at the same time, I've seen some of the videos as of recently where they themselves are like, yeah, durability's not so good here, and they joke around and they make side comment.
somebody's at the front door. My doorbell
I
just
was,
rang.
I was gonna say, is it church
Hopefully my
time or what? But um, they even
fancy doorbell.
themselves, they even said themselves, like they're making jokes of, man, I think we only brought 72 packages of these. I wonder if we'll make it through this 4-day
Right,
trip, or
right.
something like that. And yeah, I totally agree, but you can always get worse. Honestly, there was a God, what was it? A Daiwa Yamamoto
Oh yeah,
Nico.
those Nico worms.
I really dug on them. I really liked them, but like I couldn't even take it through some grass without it ripping.
Yeah, that's the tough part. Is you find one you like. We were kind of talking about that. Is it worth it? I'm like, if you find something you have the utmost confidence in, I think it's worth it.
Hmm.
Until you can find something else that will replace it. I have nothing wrong with that. If you're all about it, just don't buy the hype and buy it just because somebody says buy it because you like it.
Right.
Ethan with the donation. Debo, appreciate answering the questions on IG. Loving the content. Just got SLXDC. Can't wait to try it. Awesome, man. You'll like it. It's a solid reel. It's a little bit heavier. I know Randy really likes his. I still have to do my. Dude, I'm so far behind on gear reviews. It sucks. I wish I could fish and do YouTube and just talk about gear and stuff all the time, full time.
Right.
But
Let me just jump in there and say,
yeah, we got
just because you got the SLXDC, it's not a end all be all. You still got to make sure and make sure that you have everything set up right. I was fishing with mine today, and I had a little bit of a runaway, and I didn't fix it. And then, it caught up to me, and then it turned into a worse, kind of bunch up. And you still got to thumb it when you need to. And just because it's got that chip doesn't mean it's always going to work for you.
Yep. Nathan says, laugh my butt off. He's always cuts Dizzle off. Poor Diz. There's actually a little bit of a delay. Randy's always a little bit behind me, so I don't mean to. But Randy, say something. See if I'll cut you off.
Why would I mean?
Yeah, here next to our next.
Oh yeah, you're not even trying to do it right now. You're just totally jerk.
My guy Nick, he was on the show. Fat Boy Fishing. I'll just start by saying over the last couple months, I have found that color is a dang myth. Really? Caught him in dark water on clear water colors, vice versa. Okay, so good question with what we actually had for topic. Now that we're 18 minutes in.
What's that saying? Broken clock and being right twice a day. Kind of random. Anything's gonna work every once in a while. So I'm not saying that it is or it isn't a myth. Um, I'm gonna say if it's a color that's going to work in a better water, I'm probably gonna throw that versus reaching for something else.
Yeah, like I agree. And I kind of go back and forth on this because there's a lot of times where I'll catch fish on a certain lure and think, was it really that specific lure color combination, or was it that pattern? So for example, when I say fine wood, pitch to wood, let's say I had a 10-inch worm on and was catching them. Would I still catch fish on an 8-inch plastic lizard in the same color? Or if I had like a rage craw on there? Certain situations I think do call to color. Certain situations I think do call to the specific bait, like especially if it's something different. And other times I think it's all about location. Like if you find exactly where those fish are at, I think a lot of times you could throw something pretty similar and catch them on anything. So I go back and forth on that. Fish don't always play by the books, so that's a
Right.
good point, Nick.
Yeah, I was gonna kind of just elaborate a little bit more on what you were saying. It's like You know, I've been fishing with some guys before in the past that they're not avid fishermen, like, you know, pretty much anybody in here, but they're like, we were throwing everything. We were, you know, we grabbed a cricket and we threw it in, and we were catching fish and blah blah blah, this and that. There's always those times where you're just gonna catch them regardless of what you're gonna throw. There's always those spots. If you happen to get your bait in that spot, you're going to get bit. It doesn't matter if it's bluebird skies, perfect conditions, non-ideal conditions, you're just gonna get bit also. So, not like I said, not saying that it's agree or disagree with it. It's just there's too many variables with it, I guess.
Yep. Yep. Sphinx Overland said just picked up some of the bellows gills himself. Look forward to trying them. Trying to step out of my comfort zone. Same thing for me, man. Like I was just throwing them weightless. They look cool. Like they fall flat. So if I were a bass looking up, it looks like that sideways, you know, bluegill, like a bluegill laying on its side. And the tail actually has a lot more action than I thought. So I wish they were a little bit more sturdy, but I think again it's that trade-off. If they were sturdier, I don't think it would have the action that it does. So it's a cool lure. I wish they weren't so.
Just try not to smell too much of them.
They smell good. Shrimp flavored popcorn.
Oh.
Let's see. Richard Porter with the big donation. Thank you so much, man. That means a lot. After countless hours, huge blowups, and bad hook sets, I finally landed my first frogfish. 3+ pounder. Your videos were a huge help in getting me my gear dialed into my frogs tweaked just right. I'm now hooked on frogging. Yes, I've converted another. Dude, it's really not anything I've done. Once you experience a good frog bite and good frog blow-ups, it's so much fun. And there's some people that are like, oh, you like frog fishing because it's the cool thing and it's macho. No, man, I just love it because it's fun. Fish, like it literally sounds like fish throw, like you throw a cannonball in, and that's what the fish blow-ups sound like. So, Richard, I'm glad I could help. It's a bunch of fun. I think I've kind of got Randy converted too. He goes out and is like, why are we frog fishing? And then he gets a blow-up and he gets all excited down there, and I hear him.
Man, this has not been a good year for hook sets, for actually catching fish, and in turn, like keeping fish pinned. I don't know how many fish I've actually lost that have just spit the hook this year. I have no idea what I'm doing.
It honestly hasn't been a great frog year overall. Like overall, I'm way down for frogfish for the year of what I would normally have.
Right.
You know, part of it, I was talking to somebody today, another local Iowa guy, and so many of the waters that we fish here are way down. It's been super hot. So here, more than normal. I mean, obviously fish go deep in summer, but those shallow fish that we used to target where drop-offs were, you know, 3 foot down, like you have a drop-off that goes like this. Can you hear pitter-patter of feet running? Kids?
Yeah, a little bit, not bad.
Sorry, everyone. It's all right. I have 2 kiddos, so you know, usually the spots where it's 3-4 feet down, that's all off. So it's like it's flat. So, you know, usually those fish will use that 3-4 foot drop off, but we're literally down, you know, in some spots 3-4 feet, you know, if not more in some. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. So, Richard, I'm glad to hear that. Keep catching them. Frogging is fun. Go ahead, Randall.
Yeah, I was just gonna say there's like 3 things that have just popped up here. I wanna hit on real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
Mr. Pink Floyd. Yeah, maybe I do just like using Mendit. Frog fishing with Mendit. I just love Mendit. I don't know. I
know. We're going to try to get you on a Mendit sponsorship. We'll get your truck wrapped and everything.
I was gonna say they could just mend it, but then like
they could mend the stickers on. Yeah, it's so good you couldn't even get in there.
Mr. Tackle Junkie, I see you've made a couple posts there. I just wanted to say, you know, with everything that you did, your video the other day, I wouldn't even know what to do with the amount of stuff that you have in that little room you got there, man. That thing is redunculous.
Yeah, you think people say my stuff's bad? Look, I got a little bit of stuff here and there. Dude, Jim actually has Jim's tackle outlet in his basement.
Like I've seen the bait tackle, the place that we went today to look for some stuff. I think they had less rods for sale than what he's got in his basement.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like,
yeah, I'm sure.
100%.
100%.
Whoa.
Oh, do we just become best friends? No, we both didn't say yeah. Okay, Randall Pink Floyd, Dizzle equals Perrick, Debo equals John B.
Why do I gotta be Perrick, man?
I'm not handsome enough to be John B. Isn't he like the handsome guy to the group or something like that? I'm too ugly to be John B.
Perrick. I'm not going to yell at Debo for not diving headfirst into the water to try to grab a fish for me, and I'm not going to try to catch a fish on a piece of lettuce.
Yeah, I
Debo,
don't
on
know
the
much
other
about the
hand,
Googans. I don't watch them a ton. Like I said, I respect them, but Ayo maggots? Are we talking Slipknot? I don't know, Mark.
no.
Are we talking Slipknot here? Kyle with the donation. Thank you so much. Kyle, appreciate you, man. Just wanted to say thanks. Your channel has helped me so much. You guys are great. Literally, this is what keeps me going. Nick Fatboy Fishing was saying, dude, I look forward to your Saturday Night Lives. It's, it's kind of like a, cool down, chill out moment. I look forward to these too. Like I've said it before, Randy and I literally are just two regular guys. The amount of people that we've helped, whether I share with him, somebody will send me a picture of a jig fish and say, dude, you and Randy helped me, or things like this. Like, this means the world to me. This is why I keep doing it. So thank you, Kyle. I appreciate that a ton. Kyle.
We need to, seriously, we need to get like a JG Smith in the Saturday Night Live band for this thing right here.
I don't know what that
remember
means.
that. You don't remember that guy? He was the Saturday Night Live band conductor guy, I guess. He was like the head main guy in the band, the house band for him. Man, how don't you know what that is?
I never watched a ton of SNL. I liked it, but I was never an avid follower. My guy Rob Harrison, he's always in here. Just like Ethan's donation, you helped me on reel selection. You directed me towards the Daiwa Tatula 100. I absolutely love it. New favorite. Awesome, Rob. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, the Tatula's an awesome little reel. Tatula 100 is good for throwing lighter lures. People ask me that a lot. I think it's like $150, so it's kind of in that mid-price range, or what I consider mid-price. 100, I feel like, is where you get the best bang for the buck. Start stepping up to the 150 stuff, you get a little bit more. Some of the $200 reels, I think, are worth it. Then after that, I think some of them are kind of We need to do more of that reel comparisons, but yeah, that's a good little reel. $150 if you have it. If you don't, that's okay. Get what's in your price range. Fish. What? Oh my gosh. Randall's not a Daiwa fan.
Your shirt. Huh?
Shut up. Shut up, Randy. That's something I need to have more in my videos. I threw that in my video last time. I tell him that all the time as a joke. Shut up, Randy.
I've never heard that
let's see. Oh, here's a fun one. Critical Gravy, which reminds me of biscuits and gravy. That's actually why this jumped out at me, because I thought it said something about biscuits and gravy. Favorite breakfast ever, biscuits and gravy. My grandparents used to take me for biscuits and gravy all the time. So Grandma and Grandpa love y'all. Critical Gravy just got a $200 gift card. Best baitcaster combo. Just figured out why your buddy Dizzle is your co-host, so he can give his options while Debo catches up on questions. Yeah, dude. It's so much easier having a co-host, because if you're trying to do this on your own and trying to keep up with all the comments, I'm lost. And then my voice is all, I can't, so yeah, it helps a lot.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna jump in on this Critical Gravy question here.
What do you got?
I'm gonna go a little bit different, and I'm not even gonna give a combo suggestion. I am gonna give a suggestion of look at something around the $100 mark, and then get some baits with the other $100. So don't blow it, not blow it all on a $200 combo, but don't go all in on the combo, because there's such a difference, I think, between $100 mark, and I don't know if you can kind of get to that next level for $200. That's kind of more your deal, where, you're a little bit more in key with, prices of things. I just don't think that $200, even though it's a lot of money, it isn't to that next level of that better of a combo, if that makes any sense.
So I think I know what you're saying. So in my opinion, what I would tell you to do is break the combo and don't look at buying a $200 combo, but pricing them out separately. So you can find a lot of $100 reels often on sale for 15% off or whatever. And $15 might not sound like a lot, but that's $15 you can put on baits. And if you're just starting out, you can buy a good amount of baits for $15. So look for a $100 reel. You're going to get an aluminum frame at that price point, and an aluminum frame bait caster is going to last you way better in the long run. So, if you get like a Luz LFS, you don't see the Shimano stuff on sale as much. Revo X, there's a number of good ones out there. Get that for like $80. Then you've got, still you could spend another 100 or $80 on a rod. And again, same thing. You can find a lot of the good $100 rods, Dobbins Fury, Daiwa Tatula XT, I'm trying to think of stuff off the top of my head. Yeah, a bunch of good $100 rods out there, but
I was
I would
actually
say
just telling my nephew the other day about that. The was it the Lose combo from Walmart? The
the
I think it's the
Xfinity.
orange. The is it the orange and white one?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and that's a quality combo. Like you can get a combo if you run across a good, maybe like a sale or something like that, but I totally agree with the concept of breaking it down. But I mean, I'm always going to throw in there the topic or the point of don't waste it all on the combo, because if you get a combo that's good, you're going to have that combo for a while. Those baits that you're throwing constantly, they're going to bite into wood. You're going to be like me today and, drop three or four chatterbaits into a log and you're just out. So
Yeah, and it's kind of a give and take, because like you could spend $80 on a combo, but if you get a graphite frame and you figure within 6 months you're fishing all the time, there's a good chance you're going to burn through that. Whereas if you just spent just a little more and got an aluminum frame reel and a decent rod, you'd still have it. So you're not out that 80
yep.
bucks. So it's kind of like, that's why I tell people, really, if you can get an aluminum frame reel and a decent rod, save the rest. So hopefully that helps. Biscuits and gravy. If you have any extra, bring them over to my house. I saw a couple other donations. Oh, it ran all the way to the bottom again. I hate it when it does that.
Yeah, I've seen a
Let's
couple.
see. Let me try to catch up. Hopefully everybody's in here. My guy Braden. Okay, Rob, Critical Gravy. Okay, so the next one in line, Braden. My guy Braden, huge supporter to help with those shipping costs and or for the Kilt Fund. Love the lures you make in the channel. Braden's a good supporter. I actually owe him a reel. He was a winner a while back. I haven't forgot about him. I've got his reel over here. I actually surprised him with one. I got a deal on one, actually. So Braden, I'll be getting that reel out to you, but he bought a couple of my lures and stuff. Good guy. I appreciate you, good sir. Liam, just because I caught a 6-pounder on a Texas rig. I like the Texas rig. I like 6-pounders. Good work, dude. Let's see. Bass Bank Rabas Killa. When you're on a fishing slump, do you fish through it or take a short break? Randy and I talked about this exact question. He's like, dude, we should talk about this. So everybody out there, I know there's still a couple donations. We're going to get to them here. I'm going to leave this highlighted so I don't miss it. Like I tackle Junkie Jim's in the house too. If you haven't subscribed to him, go check out Jim's channel. Jim's a good guy. Jim, we should have had you on. We could have had a trifecta here. But so leave your comments on the side. What do you think? If you're going through a fishing slump, let's say it's been a week, you haven't caught a fish. It's been rough. You've just been pounding your head against the wall. What do? Do you take a couple weeks off, week, 2 weeks, or do you keep going? I gave my answer. Randy kind of gave his, and then he kind of changed it. So we're gonna let that marinate for just a second. Go ahead, Randy.
Let me elaborate on that just a little bit, not a ton. If you want to also throw in there the little sidebar of you're in a slump and you have this like jerk friend that always like shakes his cup with way too much ice in it during lives, and
really, God, that would be so irritating.
He goes out and he literally fishes your face off like earlier in the same day as that live, like so much to the point of you just wanted to throw all of your stuff in the water and tuck your tail between your legs and go home solo.
I heard you unzipping your bag and throwing stuff over there on that picnic table.
Yeah, I threw a few things today. Yeah.
That's when I came over and said, "Hey man, real nonchalant, how's it going? Did you catch anything?" Oh,
no,
17 snags.
Logs. Caught a lot of logs today.
Poor Randall.
So yeah,
sounded like Eeyore over there.
That's the other thing, and honestly, just as another little sidebar, in some of those instances, those slumps are, for me anyway, they are kind of they're brought on by myself. I wouldn't say that today it's not a continued slump. I just went out yesterday and I caught 7, 8 fish, and a couple of good ones, but I kind of get in that mood of it's kind of a slump, not really a slump, but it's just a really bad day when you should be able to catch fish because you're almost doing the exact same thing as your jerk buddy that is Bully. And
I think you summed it up there. I think you summed it up. We're going to come back to that. Good points. Christine White with the donation. Thank you so much, Christine, with the 10 bomb. Brand new fisherman here. Been fishing for a month and found your channel. I am full of questions. Beginner's luck seem to have worn off. Been in a slump. Last 4 times out. Help. Well, we are going to get to that answer. And I think I have the answer for you. And I think I have the answer for some more people. So we're going to get to that here in a second. I saw another one here. I think I missed it. I'm going to have to keep going. Anthony says he agrees. Terrible frog fishing year. Yeah, I'm way behind on frog fish. Last year, for sure, frog was one of my top, I would say 2 or 3 lures that I caught fish on. I'm so far behind this year, dude. Stinks.
You're still up there though for like regular people. Just real quick while you're searching for those.
Yeah,
Mr. Tackle Junkie, I gotta say, I don't know if you saw my comment. I think I might have gotten something from you, but that $6 combo, you need to ask him about that macho meal. Oh God, he just commented. Here we go.
I don't know what y'all are talking.
The macho meal from DQ, man.
I don't know what
Check
that
it
is.
out. Well, if you don't know, you don't know.
Okay. Well, he just, my guy Jim just said, I'm every other Sunday, but you may want to check out Old Bass Geek Monday night. Yeah, be ready to check out Hank, the Bass Geek, super nice guy, Monday night, because there might be a couple guests on there. Hint, it might be myself and Jim Tackle Junkie. So I probably just spoiled it. But anyway, go show up, flood his channel. He's a good cat. Here's a good one. So we're going to touch on this too. So this is what you can do in the bite stuff or you're having that slump. Downsize, it makes a difference. So that's one thing I wanted to touch. Great point, Josh. Thank you for the information there. Dude, well, I'll get you in touch with Jim. I know the guys over at Mend It. Just saying, big dog. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Have a connection. We'll get your truck wrapped in Mend It stuff.
That's amazing.
With Mend It. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's see. There's a couple other donations coming in here. What a fun night. I love you guys. I love talking about fishing. Mac Flanagan with the 15 bomb. Thank you, brother. This or that with Mac is back. Ooh, I like it. You need to be a regular with this. This or that with Mac. It's almost like the Rock 108 here at here in Iowa. We have the station I listen to is Rock 108. And it's funny because they have so there's Russ and Ned, who I love listening to in the afternoon. They do a 420 meeting every day where at 420 when people are getting off, they play it. Like one of them will pick a song and they have regulars that call in. They kind of give them nicknames. So like it kind of reminds me of that. And it's fun because when you get the same people showing up, it's like, I don't know, a family reunion of fishing friends. But anyway, this or that with Mac. Okay, green pumpkin or everything else. Oh, was he the quick question? Mac. I loved that when we did the this or that quick questions.
Mm-hmm.
If that was Mac before, awesome. I love it. Okay. So green pumpkin or everything else. You can only pick one. Dude, that is so tough. I think I would go green pumpkin if I only had to choose one. Well, okay. So can you have green pumpkin variations or does green pumpkin take everything out?
I think that's pretty cut and dry. It's green pumpkin or anything else.
Okay. So anything else could not have green pumpkin in it, right? If that's the case, I'd go green pumpkin.
Okay. So you do yours, and then I'll run through mine.
No, we answer together.
Oh, I'm going everything else.
See, and it kind of depends because if we're talking soft plastics, for the most part, I'm going. If it's everything, I don't know.
No,
I don't know what he's talking about. I think soft plastics because I don't go green pumpkin crankbait. You know, that's not really a thing.
Yeah, no, totally.
I think it's soft plastics.
I think it's plastics, and I would ban green pumpkin from the existence of the world for everything else.
That's so tough because you could go white, you could go like different shades of black, you could go
black and blue. Okeechobee
No, Okeechobee has green pumpkin in it. No Okeechobee. That's green pumpkin.
But it's Okeechobee. It's not it's not green pumpkin.
Okay, then I could go with the. See, now the stipulations. It's funny when it works in Randy's favor. It's funny when it works in your favor. Next question.
I'll take that. Next question.
Black and blue or tequila sunrise? Easy, hands down, tequila sunrise.
Black and blue.
Tequila sunrise.
100%.
Ned rig or wacky rig? See, that's tough because it depends on the spot. Like,
I've honestly thrown a lot more wacky this year than Ned rig. I don't know as if I've actually even thrown a Ned maybe once this year. I'm going wacky rig. I feel like I have a lot more options there.
Yeah, that's because it depends. I'm gonna say if it's solidy bottom, Ned rig. Everything else, wacky rig. If that's a thing,
Oops.
that's a new word.
It's a
I love it.
What bottom? What kind of bottom you got there, Debo?
Apple
Solid?
bottom. I've got a badunkadunk. Bluebird sky or drizzle? Oh, for sure, drizzle. Dizzle, what do you pick?
Drizzle for the dizzle.
Huskers or Badgers? Oh, Mac, that just got you banned, jerk.
Huskies.
Neither.
For
Speaking of
reasons.
the Hawks, we just had 2 Hawks get picked up in the NBA draft. Mr. Wieskamp and Mr. Garza.
Eesh, what'd they do?
What do you mean, what'd they do?
It's never mind.
I don't know what that means. Mac, that was fun. I'm not going to answer your last one because that's just like silly ridiculousness that doesn't matter. Both of those are, you can just throw both of them in the garbage. Mac, those are fun, dude. I love this or that with Mac. That's a fun, like if we
Those
could
are
just
fun.
put together a whole, like we kind of did this before. Was that 2 years ago or was that last year? We did, what the heck's it even called? I play it with my daughter all the time. Where you pick like out of 2 things. What's that game even called? We play it more brushing teeth. Oh my god, I can't think of it. Somebody help me out. It's the game all the kids play now where you pick between like 2 things. Like if you can only do this for your life or that. Dude, why can I not think of it?
Yeah, I know what you're. I know what.
Somebody will leave it out there.
Would you
Anyway,
rather, Chris?
Would you rather?
Would you
Yes.
rather?
So we did a couple would you rather questions. It'd be fun to do a this or that if we could get enough people putting this or that stuff together.
We could do an entire video of a this or that.
Oh, dude, we could do an entire live. I think it'd be a better live format.
Oh yeah.
Video.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, we get
each other.
Yeah, I mean in person. Troy, marry, and kill. I don't know what the F is. I don't know what game that is.
I think I skipped somebody. Dang it! If I did, let me know if I skipped you in a donation. There's too many comments coming in. You guys are awesome for commenting. I can't keep up. Darn it.
God,
the next one I have is Patches, and I think there was somebody else before Patches that donated with like a $10 donation. This was for Dizzle's Kilt. I just slobbered all over for Dizzle's Kilt and Mend It Fund. The good fucks over at Mend It. holding Randy together over there.
I mean, do you think I could take just like a pair of cargo shorts, cut them down the middle, and then mend it? Mend it?
You could do, dude. You could mend it. You could mend it a boat together in your Mend It kilt, like the guy did for Flex Seal.
I'm not gonna do that.
In your Mend It boat with a Mend It kilt.
God, I really need to do a little bit more research on those.
Let's look at some answers. So I think we had some stuff coming in on here. Anything? I think we're going to start here. So Fishing Slump Roland said, I throw funnest baits to throw, twitching a fluke or walking a topwater. Okay. So let's say you're in, I think this is a good part to start because I think this is what Roland's saying. Let's say you're in a fishing slump. You've been out a couple times. You can't catch anything. What do? So my first thing that I tell people, the way I look at it is keep fishing. If you're ever in doubt, I can't tell you how many times I was on the edge of either going home or not going out and ended up going out and have an awesome day. And that could be, a day where I followed a crap day. So a day where the day before was literally crap. And I go out the next day and it was awesome after I didn't want to go out. It could be a day where I've just had so much going on and I'm just like, I don't even feel like going. Like if you're ever in doubt, go fishing. And I think what Roland's saying is he's going to throw his confidence baits because if he's not going to catch anything, at least he's throwing what he knows and what he likes, period.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that. Go anytime you can, throw what you're confident in as long as it's for that time of year. Like if it's 30-degree water, don't throw a frog just because you're confident in it, right? It's probably not going to work. But
maybe if you just haven't for a while, it still would be fun. But okay, so here's my devil's advocate statement to that.
Would you leave a devil's advocate statement? No, I would never imagine that.
So here's the deal. I end up getting a little bit more frustrated when I'm throwing I wouldn't say it's my funnest, but my biggest confidence bait, and I still can't get bit on that. So that's something that just takes it to, it turns up to 11, You know, the dial
That's like-
goes to
that's-
10 and then I'm at 11.
That's like the minnows and worm guy that we talked to the other day. Well, you start out throwing crawlers. If they're not biting crawlers, you throw the minnows. If they're not biting those, you say go home because the damn fish ain't eating. And Randy and I just kind of
River otters got them.
Yeah, river otters got them. I just kind of chuckled. I'm like, no, I mean, maybe you should try something else or a different spot. But you know, some people are like that. Like if they're not eating the spinnerbait that I like to throw, they're not eating, and I'm going home. Some people fish
And
that
they're
way.
always biting in this spot, and if they're not biting in this one spot, then they ain't biting at all.
Yeah. Every time I go there, they're eating. If they're not there, go home. So, okay, so you kind of got our two deals on it. Fishing with Gramps. I was actually going to have you on tonight, Fishing with Gramps, and I got home late. We'll get Fishing with Gramps on. He's always in the house. Good dude. He has his own YouTube channel. Check him out. But he said, still no frogfish. Next time in the yak, nothing but frogs and a wacky follow-up. Okay, so here's another thing. And this is kind of the other side to it. Somebody else said it, and it went clear up. I forget who it was, but somebody else said, if I'm in a slump and I can't catch anything, I'm just going to throw something that's crazy and out of the ordinary. So while I think that's a good idea, like, okay, I'm not catching anything anyway on, like Randy was saying, a jig, for example. He always throws a jig to catch fish. He goes out and throws a jig, can't catch something. Is it necessarily a bad time to throw something different? Yes and no, because yes, that's cool that you're trying something different, and at least you can see how it works. You can get the feel for it. However, when fish aren't biting, I don't think that's the time to try something new, because you're not going to reinforce that bait. So like when I pick up a new bait that I'm not familiar with, for example, let's say a big swim bait or glide bait, I still suck at them. If I ever get to a pond where the fish are there literally eating everything, like some pond that's never been touched in 18 years, that's when I'm going to throw a bait that I'm not familiar with, because then you can feel what the bite feels like. You can see like the spots where it does good, it doesn't do good. Like there's nothing more frustrating than being out on a bad day, in my book anyway, being out on a bad day and then you tie on something else like, dude, I've never caught a fish on this. Let me try it. And you try it for 30 minutes and don't get anything. Then you're just going to keep throwing out to the bottom of the tackle box saying, dude, I tried it before and it still sucks. Like,
so I guess I'll say in that same breath, I kind of want to throw those baits on those days, just because I may not necessarily,
because it could be the magic lure, right?
Yeah, it could be the magic lure, and I might not know 100% what I'm doing with the lure. So today, the last place that we stopped, I'm like, Debo, I'm doing it. And I grab a drop shot. And I'm throwing this drop shot, and first of all, I'm like, well, I messed up rigging this. I gave myself 3 to 5.5 inches of line between my weight and my hook. So right there, number one, I realized, okay, I messed that up. I need to change that a little bit. And I asked you, I looked at you and I was like, dude, what does a bite on this feel like? And you gave me some bully smart aleck remark of, feels like a different kind of bite.
Oh, shut up. I didn't. Shut up, Randy. See, why I have to tell him to shut up? I have to keep him in line. It's an I loving shut up. Okay, so we've got people saying, yeah, like certain baits are frustrating. Keep going. Okay, Sean says keep going 100%. Just try different baits and locations. So there's not always going to be a right answer to this, right? I kind of look at it different than Randy. Fishing is different for everyone. I mean, let's see. What else do we have? Fat Boy says, dang it, now I want DQ. People are talking about your DQ thing. People saying they love Rock 108. That's how far behind on comments I am, Fishing Friends. How long ago was that?
I mean, there's DQ, and then there's a good DQ that says like a full menu. Just saying.
I don't know. I don't really do DQ. I'm not really an ice cream guy, so I don't really ever go there.
Yeah, that's why you go to the one with the full menu. Just saying.
When it get tough, I start throwing different stuff that no one around me throws. Now that's okay. That's a good thing. So if you can throw something that you're still kind of confident in, but like different. So for example, I still remember back, gosh, there was a day that's been, I don't know, even now, 5 years ago. It was the very first time I had the grande bass rattlesnakes, which is like a third of the bait is a Senko, and then the rest of it is like a ringworm. So it's like the best of both worlds. That was the first time I'd ever tried grande. That's probably been, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. Anyway, I was fishing at a local lake. There was multiple guys that I talked to throwing stick baits, and I was throwing this right next to them catching fish. So then again, it goes into that whole thing that we literally come full circle around. Was it because I'm not going to say I knew the spots better than them, but I was putting it that much closer to cover because I was trying to get it, you know, it's weedless. So I was trying to get it as close as I could to like wood and stuff. Was it the location of the cast and the accuracy, or was it this different lure?
Right.
I don't know. That's the hard part. I'm not a pro here. I need to get a pro. I need to get, who's a pro I can get on here? Any pros that watch DEBO'S fishing?
Just real quick to keep going down that rabbit hole. I like to, when I go to like a Bass Pro Shop or like a local bait shop or something like that, and I'm going in to look for a specific type of bait, I usually take a look at, you know, if it's in an area where I fish often, I'm going to look and see what colors are sold out versus what colors aren't. And, you know, if there's one left of one color, I may pick that up, but then I'm going to look around at the other colors. So kind of same concept, different path, I guess, of trying something nobody else is throwing. I'm going to try to look for a totally different color as long as it's not like, you know, beyond ridiculous or something like that. And even if it is, I might buy it anyway. So
yeah, that's honestly a really good point. Like there's some places that are really color based or color specific based on the territory. Like there's certain places that a red shad worm will do way better, or like tequila sunrise worm. It's kind of like a definitely a different color, but work really well. Me and my dad, his buddy Joe, who I learned to throw, you know, those guys, there was a couple lakes where they sweared by it. And back in the day, like those lakes, if you didn't throw it there, you weren't catching stuff, or not as much, like nearly as much. There's other places that do that, like a red, what is it? Red bug, which is like a red June bug. I forget the lake down south somewhere where that red bug just destroys them. You know, Kentucky Lake, you know, there's certain places that have like certain colors. So that's a really good point too, Randy. Depends on the territory. Let's see. We got people talking about June bug. He almost said it. Oh, Chris. I think Chris is talking about the color. I can't believe I'm that far behind. So let me see. It just took me down to the bottom. Damn it. I hate it when it does this. Let me go back to see if I missed any donations. Did I get Great Bad? I think he might be the next one. Nope. Jeff. I think Jeff was the next one. Okay. I think Jeff was the next one. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. Jeff Lauer, love your square bills, both 1 and 2.5. Hey, the DEBO lures, thank you, man. Favorites, the black and blue bluegill and the zombie lure. Wish us Canadian. Oh, dude, I'm sorry. Yeah, like there's the whole shipping to like different countries that's a pain in the butt to try to get set up. I am no pro at this. Hopefully someday I'll be able to get that like stuff done and figured out. Right now it's just to US.
Let's just make a trip to like northern Minnesota and like do like a little over the border toss of some baits.
Oh, is this the line?
Yeah, right.
And DEBO'S business gets shut down. Jeff, thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for the kind words on my lures. I'm trying to work hard on those. I'm not the best. I still have a lot to learn, but damn, it's fun to do.
Shut up. You're doing amazing.
I've been really enjoying throwing chatterbaits and spinnerbaits on a moderate action rod. I feel like my hookup ratio is better, loading them up more. So action and power, I know that gets kind of flipped back and forth around. So the power is going to be, just for a refresher, the power is going to be how much power it takes to actually bend that rod over, right? So if you have like a medium power, it's going to be easier to bend that compared to a heavy. When you're talking about the actions, what he's talking about is how much that rod is actually going to bend. So if you have like an extra fast, it's literally going to be just the tip. So just the tip's going to bend, then you're going to get into the backbone of it. Moderate action rod is going to be more of a soft. It's going to bend more all the way down toward like the middle of it. And that's a big thing that a lot of people like to use for chatterbaits, spinnerbaits, moving baits, is a moderate action rod. Because, you know, when you cast that lure out there, whatever it is you're retrieving, that fish is going to kind of have it and get it for a second in its mouth, and it's going to kind of load your rod before you feel it, as opposed to having like an extra fast rod where you're working like a bottom bait. You know, you're going to feel that pretty quick, where you can kind of wait. Oh, like a jig fish. Oh, does he have it? Wait. Yep, he's starting to move. Then he can set the hook. So kind of the advantage to those moderate or moderate fast action rods is that fish kind of takes it, and there's a little slight delay before you set the hook and you're not pulling that bait away from the fish. So I completely agree. I like, a lot of times you'll see like, it sucks because not all brands and rods label them the same. So you might compare one like a medium heavy fast in one brand feels just like a medium heavy moderate fast, or even almost like a moderate in some of them. In some brands.
We were just talking about that today. Like when we stopped, it's like, I don't know what rod it was, but I picked it up and I was like, this feels like, I don't know if it was like, this feels like medium heavy versus the heavy that it was, or vice versa, one of those two. I was like, this doesn't feel like what it should be.
Yeah, it was a heavy, and you're like, this doesn't feel like a heavy. Like, you pick this up and it doesn't feel like it should be.
Right. Yep. And so, you know, just to kind of, I know there's companies, and I don't really want to bring it back up, but there are some companies that make fishing rods where, you know, the action is a different color than what the rest of the fish is. So you can kind of get an idea as to what the rod should be doing when it's loaded up, or when you know, caught a fish, or, you know, something along those lines.
I don't know what that means. The rod's a different color from.
So the Guggen rods, the green part of the rod is the action of the rod. So if it goes down, however far it goes down, is the actual action of the rod.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
Expect. Yeah.
That's pretty neat. Oh, look at that. That's a cool idea.
So that's, I think, on their regular line. I think they have a Gold Series line. It's a little bit, it's more expensive, obviously, but I don't think that it has that on there. And they also put like a pseudo tape measure on, or, you know, a tally mark hashed out tape measure on the rod also.
I could do without that. I could give or take that. Yeah, 100%. The part where the action, like where it starts, where your backbone starts, that's actually pretty cool. I like that. I didn't know that was a thing. Might have to look at those. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. So we got people talking about stuff. William Sully says manners. Can't stop.
You remember that day?
Broken Frog, Mend It, Jimbo the Dink Slayer. Oh my gosh, Jimbo the Dink Slayer. I like the name, dude.
Yeah.
What else do we got? Okay, so I think I've got the next donation was the one I clicked on before. Was Christopher? Is Christopher the next one? Am I missing stuff? And it just skipped to the bottom again. Damn it.
I think that seems about right. There's quite a few. And Chris Russ, I mean, I may have sounded like a huge fanboy, but, you know, I'm not.
See, this is why I give Randy crap all the time. If he could, he'd have all Googie stuff. He'd be Googie sponsored. 100%.
I wouldn't. And you can get sponsored by them, didn't you? You were telling me that I could be like something.
I think they have like a pro strap, program, but it's just a joke. We don't hate them. We joke about it because everybody else digs on them. Anyway, it's a joke. Thanks for the videos. Thanks for the laugh, guys. That's what we're here for. Talk about fishing. Get some laughs in. Life. You can't take life too serious. Like we were saying before, dude, you never know when your number is going to be called. Have fun. Give somebody a hug. Instead of ripping on somebody, bring somebody up. Like, dude, it takes so much more energy to rip somebody down and make fun of somebody than it does to, like, somebody you have a good relationship, be like, hey, man, I love you. Or, hey, thanks for doing what you did today. Like,
you know, the funny thing is recently I've started, I would say probably within the last, I don't know, a month or so, just like real quick at the end of any phone conversation with Debo that I've had, we'll be like, all right, man, you know, we'll meet at the lake at, 6 or blah, 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 whatever. And I'll be like, all right, cool, man. Talk to you later. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Just throw it out there real quick. And, you know, it's a joke. It's a funny thing. But again, man, you know, I think Debo is basically he's my family, you know, he's a great guy. And,
yep, same, man.
Just like you said, man. I mean, as much as I'm going to throw you in the water one of these days, you know, I'd definitely dive in there after you too, buddy.
You kick me in if I needed help. You dive in after me. That's a true friend.
Right.
True friend that would 300 kick you in and then dive in after you. David says, girlfriend getting me in a new Diabazillion. Ooh, is it the Diabazillion SVTW? Favorite reel that I have right now. Suggestion for Friday rod? DQ peanut butter shake. Bad day wacky rig. David, I don't know what that means. The Diabazillion's an awesome reel. The SVTW in the white box, the new silver reel. I don't have one next to me, but Oh, just caught my phone. That's an awesome reel. If you've got the money to spend, it's a little bit pricey, but dude, it's such a nice reel. I don't know what the rest of that means. DQ peanut butter shakes. I love anything peanut butter, so I can't disagree with that.
Do you know they gotta like tip them upside down when they hand them to you to like show that they're like, here, this is super thick or whatever. Like literally, that's not optional. If you go to Dairy Queen, they flip it upside down for you.
Why would they flip it upside down to show it's thick?
Because that's like their thing, I guess.
I don't know if that's really a thing or if you're just lying.
No, 100%. It's like a big thing.
It was like a Randy lie.
Oh my god.
So then the next time I get one, I go, Randy said I should.
No, it's
it's
an actual thing. If they don't do it, they like you can call them out on it and you get a free one. 100%. I'll send it to you after this.
Okay. Eric says, can you consistently get bites on a white lure / bait in a pond lake that doesn't have shad and bluegill, their primary bait fish? Seems like most recommendations are use white and shad lakes. Okay, so Eric, I've talked about this a number of times. Bass don't eat just shad is the only white thing, and shad actually aren't even like white. I know that's kind of the go-to, but like for us around here, crappie, white bass / hybrid bass, yellow bass. I'm trying to think what else. Even like some sort of minnowy, like small, whether it's like walleye minnows or even young bluegill kind of have that silvery white to them. Absolutely. Yeah. I like white. You know, I kind of use it as a contrast thing. Really,
and I'm also gonna go ahead, finish.
Go for it.
I was gonna say, and it kind of sounds gross, but especially like if you come across something where a fish has gotten beat up and it's a dead fish floating on top, bass or any other fish, they're not picky. They're going to eat a dead fish. They're going to go after it and they'll hit it. And traditionally, even if it's a very colorful fish to begin with, once it goes belly up, it's going to lose a lot of that color.
Yeah, and we've gone full circle to, is it color and presentation versus or I'm sorry, is it location presentation or is it color? I caught fish. There's actually a lake that we still joke about. It was an old Lucky Tackle box that I got where I got this dead shad lure. It was like the live target. Is it live target sunfish?
Yeah.
Where it's like, It's supposed to be a frog, but it looks like a dead sunfish. So if like you're a bass looking up, it would look like a dead sunfish laying on its side.
And it's like curved up, like it's been in the sun a little bit too long.
Yep, like it's starting to get the old rigor mortis setting in. It was a shad lure that I got in an old Lucky Tackle box that was like that, and we were making fun of it. I'm like, dude, I'm never going to catch anything on this. I was throwing it in a lake that doesn't have any shad, but it does have, I believe, either white bass or wiper or something like that in there, we think, but it could also have walleye. If you look at a walleye from the belly up, they're completely white,
Yep.
I know there's walleye in that lake, even a bass. If you look at a bass from below, they're like kind of a silvery white. And bass are cannibals. They're going to eat other little bass, right? So there's a number of things. If fish are feeding up, right? So that you've got kind of two ways you can catch fish. The fish that are feeding up, so topwater, a spinnerbait rolling over them. If they're not just reacting to it, they're either looking up or looking down. If they're hugging on the bottom, dragging a Ned rig, shaky head, jig, whatever. Some days you have better luck when the fish are feeding up, sometimes when they're feeding down. If you have to, think about that, a fish looking up, there's a bunch of different fish that the belly is white. The whole fish isn't white, but if they just see that white flashing over, a lot of times they're just reacting. But anyway, we were in this body of water that doesn't have any shad in it, and I had a monster blow up. We still don't know what it was. Like, it literally hit that thing so far out of the water, it looked like a monster. I don't know what it was,
huge.
But yeah, huge blow up on this dead shad thing in a place that doesn't have any shad. So
it was like a gray silver ghost color too, wasn't yours?
Yeah, it was like a gray silvery, and then it was like white on the bottom. So it was pretty shadish. I mean, it just looked dumb as hell. It didn't walk very well. Like the whole thing just, I feel like, wasn't like really tested. It was like cool in concept, but it didn't really, like, I would just rather have a frog. But again, huge blow up, monster fish tried to eat it in a place that doesn't have it. So yeah, just like today, the place that I think that place does have shad, I don't know for sure, but another thing is contrast. Like I was throwing an all white thunder cricket today with a Arsenal, I think it's tactical minnow. Shout out to Hellabass. I haven't seen him in here, but all white, and it just really like the watercolor. Randy and I were talking about it. It wasn't muddy, but it wasn't like that green algae. It was kind of like a weird brownish.
It was
like
it's river water.
Yeah, like it was a weird stain to it though, but it wasn't like normal stain. Like normal stain waters I look at, you can kind of see down a certain amount and they're just kind of stained and dirty. That's like my favorite to fish. But it was like in between like a regular stain where you can see, a few feet down to muddy. But it was like weird. I don't know if there was like some sort of weird like bloom, like algae bloom or something going on, but it wasn't like
I mean, it's that body of water is connected to the river as well. So it's that back and forth
weird
ebbs and flows of that too. Yeah.
So
the funny thing talking about that lake is Mr. Pink Floyd up there said he watched bluegills hitting a dried piece of grass on the surface. We both brought it up to each other today as we're sitting there. It was literally like a white duck or goose feather.
Yep.
Just sitting on top of the water, and it was getting
bluegill were destroying it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in that body of water today, I was throwing that white thunder cricket, and dude, it just stood out so well. I don't know what it was, and even Randy said something about it. I was throwing it. I'm like, man, this looks pretty good, and I hadn't said anything to him. He's like, dude, what color is that? He's like, it almost looks like shiny, like reflective. And I don't know if it was the blade, like that silver blade mixed with the white. It stood out really well, and I caught a couple pike on it, a bass, like.
It was like if the blade somehow was able to reflect back onto the skirt and illuminate the skirt. I
think it probably
really
was.
What I was catching.
Yeah, because we had some sun, and it was that reflective of the blade bouncing off that white.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. What else do we have? St. Croix makes great rods. Actually, I want to get the new Bass X. If I don't, I'm sure Randy will. He's got way more St. Croix stuff than I do. We'll get him hooked up with one, or if he doesn't buy one before me, I'll buy you one. I want to try that.
St. Croix are awesome. And, you actually schooled me today that it's a new version of the Bass X rods. Because there's already Bass X out there. But yeah.
Yeah, the current Bass X has like the black and like teal blue. We're at an hour. I want to try to do my hour giveaway. So we still have 240 people in here. Y'all are damn awesome. We're going to do the giveaway. So right now, I think there was one other donation coming in. Right now, what is my favorite color in Reaction Innovations soft plastics? First person that I see answering wins the giveaway. My favorite color in Reaction Innovations soft plastics. You win. Whoever it is, and I'm going to show it. Hopefully we get the majority of people saying, yep, that was right. Here it is. Brian Evans. Oh, dude, Chris, he just barely beat you. Chris Russ is another Iowa guy. Damn, we had a bunch of people, man. Okay, so everybody let me know. I see the first one on my screen was Brian. Is that what you saw, Randall?
Yeah, I was going to say that, but I was also going to say somebody, I don't know who it was, the noted hematoma. I kind of like that a little bit better than the tramp stamp. Just saying.
That's all right. That's all right. Tramp stamp is my favorite one. Let me know in the comments, folks. Was he the winner? Did Brian? Yep, I'm seeing a couple Brians. Chris, you were so close. Chris, if we ever meet up, I'll just give you a pack. You can raid my bag if we ever get a fish together.
Oh, kind of circling. Circling back to the last part that we were talking about as far as the all white baits.
Yeah.
What is it? The white trash, I think, is their version of the all white craw.
Yeah, white and pearly.
Yep. Given some of that, not the actual dip, the spike it dip, but the spike it pens. Those things, they can change the world around when it comes fishing each day. You just don't have something you want to throw on a trailer. You just what? I think I know the comment, but just go ahead and say it.
It was Kern River. Kern River said, "Is Randy giving away Mendon?" Dude, when he lands that sponsorship, so we had like 3 or 4 people. Yep, everybody's saying Brian. Okay, Brian, you are the winner. Brian, if you're still in here, I would assume you are because I just asked the question. Hit me up on Instagram. If you don't have Instagram, let me know real quick, and I can throw my email out there. Dude, trying to keep track of giveaways is hard. I need to have like a giveaway person that runs my giveaways. I send them the stuff, and they just take care of all of it. Randall, that should be you. I feel like you should be my giveaway guy.
Do it.
I give you all the stuff.
Yep.
So if you're in
I
here,
do
man,
gotta
let me
say
know.
that I do gotta say, in reference to your Kern River Rod here, your comment, Roland just posted, yeah, the prize for me is you send me your baits and I'll mend it up for you and I'll send it right back to you.
Oh my gosh. Hey, if you guys got used lures, send them to Randy. He'll mend it and then uh, he'll sign it for you. Mend it and sign it. Man, that's funny. See how many people commented on that? That's crazy. That blows my mind that people like watch my stuff and know my favorite soft plastic color and such. I love you guys. This is awesome. Will
I didn't really
Junkin.
know what it is.
Well, yeah, you're like, oh, hematoma's
Hey,
better.
I like your shirt. What?
Shut up, Randy. Will Junkin with the $10 donation. Wacky or Nico? Ooh, it's another this or that. Okay.
Yep.
Wacky or Nico rig?
Yeesh, this is banger. Holy cow.
So
You
close, but I'd
what
say wacky rig. I've caught a lot more fish on the wacky rig. Nico is really good in certain situations. Overall, though, I'd take wacky rig over Nico.
I'm going wacky as well, just because Nico fits into that drop shot type of category for me, where there's just way too many moving parts for me to want to get down with it. I mean, I got to throw the weight in, and it's a special blah 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 on a hook and wacky.
That extra weight sends you over the edge.
Yep, 100%.
Whopper, plopper, or Chapo?
Oh, that's a tough
Um,
one. I'm gonna say I wish that the Larry Dahlberg had the Chapo flippy part on it because I like that part on the Chapo more than I like it on the Whopper Plopper.
the
But
sound, you mean?
yeah, because with the
With the hard tail?
Chapo's got a harder tail or a hard tail on it. But I'm gonna say Plopper, Larry Dahlberg for the win. Jordan fadeaway.
Yeah, I would say like, so it's kind of tough because yeah, I'm kind of in the middle. Like I like the rubber tail on the Whopper Plopper better because you can't break it.
Hmm.
But I like the 120 size the best. Like, and that's a Chapo size. River to Sea is the 110 size. So mine would be kind of a mix of the two. I like both. I don't know that I would say I would only choose one over the other. There's kind of give and take in both. I like both
And
of them.
there's so many that have done a variation of it now, but I
Right.
think the Dahlberg's got it for the win for me.
Yeah. I mean, the Dahlberg's hard to pass up. A 110 Dahlberg
Hmm.
is probably my favorite. You're right. Okay. 110 Dahlberg. Swim jig or football jig? Easily swim jig for me. A lot of confidence in a swim jig. In fact, today, that was the deal for me. Randy, did you get on a good swim jig bite today by
So
chance?
here's what I realized after the fact today when I was helping you with that outro bit.
I love you.
You
Don't
slap your
300 kick me
face.
in.
I was realizing that, and somebody mentioned it earlier, you were using a fairly small swim jig, like actually a really small swim jig when it comes to like swim jigs as a whole, right?
It wasn't, I wouldn't say it's really small. It wasn't a finesse swim jig, but it was a little bit smaller, compact profile.
What was it? What size was it? Was it 3/8?
3/8. Yep.
So I didn't have any
But
3/8 with me,
but
and
the
I
trailer
was
wasn't huge. The trailer I was using was only like a 3-inch trailer.
right. So that's where it just compounds for me. Is I didn't want
Remember
to
I
go.
said I left those at home? I think they're
Yeah,
right over here.
I didn't want to go through and cut the skirt or anything like that to throw on a smaller trailer. So I was
Actually,
using, I
I think they're
think,
out in both.
a half ounce. I think I was using a half ounce swim jig and a longer trailer on it. And I had one bite on it when I stopped watching you fishing with that swim jig because I seriously, I wanted to hurt you at that point in time. That's like
Oh
100%.
my
Like
gosh.
kicking you in was not enough. I think I wanted to kick you in
No.
and like throw heavy things at you.
Kick me in and then knock a tree over on me so I couldn't get out. Damn, man, that's harsh. Okay, so we both agree swim jig though?
Yes, swim jig. Sorry.
Okay. Oh, bladed jig or spinner bait? No competition for me. Spinner bait all day, every day. Top 3 confidence bait of all time.
See,
I think you're going to be different. And that's okay. I think you with your river stuff, I get it.
so what I like is I like the concept of it. I don't think I've ever caught a fish on it, but they have this. I don't know who makes it. They have it's a combo bladed and underspin. I think I've showed that
Primal?
to you a few
I think it's
times.
the
Yeah,
primal
Primal.
primal
Yep.
fish head or something it's called. Yep.
And I really like the idea of it. I've never actually caught anything on it, but circle back full story here. I'm going bladed over spinnerbait.
What? Oh, bladed jig. I was thinking it was underspin when I read that. I don't know why. Underspin triggered in my head. Yeah, it'd still be
Right.
spinnerbait though over bladed jig. So
Well, for you, not for me. Speak for yourself, buddy.
Yep. That's what I was saying with your river stuff and underspins. I don't know why I thought underspin. Okay, anyway. Dizzle's right. The store has to turn the cup upside down, company policy.
DQ,
Okay, I guess
baby.
it's a thing. Unfortunately, I don't fish at DQ, or I don't fish at DQ. I don't shop at DQ.
I would never
much.
fish. Well, I did fish there once. Hey, real quick, while we're on that bladed versus spinnerbait, can you do a naked spinnerbait? Is that something people throw? Because I know I've personally thrown a naked chatter or bladed jig. I've never thrown a naked spinnerbait.
There's a couple that do. I think I want to say Jewel Bait Company is one that specifically made one. The problem that I run into on a lot of spinnerbaits when you try to do like a big trailer on it, they just don't run right. There's some that are made like for that, but I would say you have to be pretty picky on it because there's some spinnerbaits I can put a trailer on, like as far as like a soft plastic paddle tail on, no problem. There's some remember there was that batch of Terminators that I got, which are good spinnerbaits. I just couldn't put anything on them. They just kept running wonky. So
should have got War Eagles.
should have got a War Eagle.
Saying.
10 Horse Monty in the house. I need to get 10 Horse on too. Have I had you on a live yet? I was on his channel. I don't think I've had you on yet. I owe you. You need to get on here. He's a good guy. He does a lot of the tournament stuff. But as his name says there, 10 Horse. He's got a 10 John boat like myself. I call it my aluminum kayak. We'll get him on and talk some stuff. Good dude. He's also a good catcher. He's catching some big fish up there. What was it? The chug bug earlier this year. He brought up kind of the old school chug bug that was killing him.
Doesn't is that kind of similar, or is it totally different than Lunker Hunt's beetle thing?
What's Lunker Hunt's beetle thing?
It's a beetle that has little like arm blades that come off to the side, and you kind of it's like those bats.
Oh no! A chug bug is like a long popper. So if you mix like a spook with a popper, it's kind of like that. Like a
yep.
Yeah. Let's see. So what else do we have? I like Sam Bloomer. Mend it and send it. We'll have to get a Dizzle shirt that says that. Once he lands his
Roland, you're awesome.
Mend it.
Yeah, Roland's awesome because War Eagle spinnerbaits. Fat boy, you're lucky. I'm not an admin. I would kick you for that comment. Just saying.
I do need to make you an admin.
Right?
You see anybody getting out of hand, we'll lay the Dizzle hammer on them.
Oh, that's your cup. Holy crap. Yeah, anyway, what?
Let's see. What else do we have? Another giveaway, Randy's favorite color jig. Oh, Dave says I should do another one. Randy will give away all of his War Eagle jigs if you can guess Randy's favorite jig color. Randy, will you do that? Will you give away 50 jigs?
Man, I lost all of them. It's weird. I don't have any.
Oh, you lost them all in that tree today?
But it was a boating accident. I lost all of them.
They all went overboard. Okay, Dahlberg. Oh yeah, sorry, we should have explained that. Dahlberg is the Whopper Plopper, Roland, correct?
Yeah.
Larry Dahlberg is the creator of the Whopper Plopper. It's funny because, gosh, that's been what, 3 years ago now, maybe?
No,
4 years ago?
More than that.
There was 1 year where we were on like a Whopper Plopper kick where we could catch, it seemed like anything on a Whopper Plopper. And we got to
they were so expensive when they first came out.
Yeah.
And you remember that pike you stuck one of them in there, and you're like, dude, can you just like come back a couple of times and see if you see it on the shore, or like try to catch it for me or something like that?
Yeah, I stuck a pretty good pike. It wasn't like a trophy or anything, but it was pretty good sized. And right before I got it up, he shook and slipped the line and just went off. And it was just like, it killed me because I could see this 110 Whopper Plopper just hanging out of his mouth as he took off. I'm like, no.
It's that, what's that sexy shad type of color, whatever you want to call it?
I know it was the color. I know it. Yeah, it's like a sexy shad, white, blue with like the chartreuse stripe. I know it is the name of it.
Real quick, Johnny, he gets my I lost all my jigs in a boating accident comment.
I don't know what that is. It must be a DQ thing. Kern River Rod with the 20 bomb. Thank you very much, brother. I saw him commenting earlier about looking at rods and stuff. I don't know if you have your own rod company. If you do, huge shout out to you. I know that would be a ton of work, but super rewarding. I don't know if that's a thing or if I don't know. Anyway, toward a hula skirt and coconut top for a fish off, big fish wins. Small fish does a quick hula dance, 10 seconds on live stream. What? Oh, so you have to wear a hula skirt and coconut top for a fish off. Okay, so he's saying big fish wins. So if you have the small fish, you have to do a quick hula dance. Nobody wants to see that. I do have a dunk-a-dunk. Luckily, my old lady likes it, but I'm married, so nobody wants to see that from me. I got big ears, remember? People used to make fun of that.
I mean, Randy you did do that. You used to do that monkey face back in the day. I remember that.
I never did a monkey face.
You puff your cheeks out and push your ears out at the same time. You did that.
I don't know what that means. Is that why you were holding a Dunkin' cone upside down or something? Good story, Randy.
A Dunkin' cone?
Kern River, I don't know. We'll have to see if we can get Randy to do that. You know what? If I went, I just want to see Randy in a kilt fishing on one of those stand-up boards. We saw some people fishing on stand-up boards today.
I really enjoy the fact that people are getting out and they're doing all this stuff with their yaks and their stand-up paddle boards and all of this stuff. But the same breath, I gotta say that one of my lakes that I like to go to that usually produces either a good amount of fish or good fish is literally just overrun with, I'm not going to say those people, but like people in kayaks and paddle boards and something like that. And they have all the right to do so, but it's just like, they don't understand the rules of the road. And they're just like, oh, you're fishing? I'm just going to come right up on you. And
yeah, it's a tough thing to get into because we've talked about this before. Like, it's awesome seeing people out on the water. However, like even anglers, like there's a lot of anglers that just have like no boundary deals. And like, there's, people in kayaks. We encountered some people in like a paddle boat thing. They didn't come over by us, but I noticed they came like right in front of some other guy fishing. Like, they just don't get the, oh, you're fishing, I'm going to stay like way out. And I can't blame them because, they've probably never fished a day in their lives. Like, they don't know anything about that. They're just out trying to enjoy the water. I don't know if it'd be worth doing a thing on it because those, people that are just out enjoying it wouldn't be watching this, So I would just say, try to be mindful of others, even like boaters. There was a couple old guys, I talked about it on my last one, where they kind of cut us off. Yeah, good old boy, just out having fun. And they were kind of like, I wouldn't say chasing us, but we're kind of going to the same spots. And literally, dude, like I could have casted over their boat plus another like half cast. Like, I mean, they were right on me. Like, I could have thrown a rock gently and hit dude in the head. And I just kind of shook my head and laughed. And I was like, hey guys, having any luck? And dude was just completely oblivious, like, to everything. He's like, oh, we caught a couple little ones, but just another day. Just,
as you hear that hard click of the Zebco rod to engage it to cast.
Flipping his old Zebco out there, dude had probably had it forever. So you can't be mad at that. Dudes were out enjoying it. They were nice guys. So as long as people are nice to me like that, I'm okay with it. But there's been a couple times where we've encountered some serious pricks that, like, you can tell just wanted to be jerks. And I'm not okay with that. So just be nice to people. Be nice to people out there. Like I said, you never know when your number is going to be called. So Tom Mix had a good point. So Kern River, I don't know if we'll get that going. I appreciate the 20 bomb. I don't know that I could find a hula skirt and coconut top to do that, but maybe we'll have to do something, another fun challenge. So I appreciate the 20 bomb. I appreciate the support. Tom brought up a good point of River to Sea existed before Larry Dahlberg came up with that. Yeah, I think Larry was making, like, if I remember how the story goes, I watched a thing on it, and he was doing toothy critters in like the Amazon and stuff, I want to say, with these. He was kind of making like these like whopper plopper type things, and then River to Sea, I think, worked in conjunction with him to bring, because there was like musky baits and musky anglers that were throwing that type of bait, like ploppy tail topwater,
Right.
before the river to sea whopper plopper ever existed. And I think he worked with them to get it, kind of more mainstream, and that's what really brought it more to the bass fishing side of things. Because there was
Right.
like the Devil's Horse, and there was God, I can't even think of now, with like the little metal spinners on them, but nothing with like could just throw it and cast and retrieve type thing. So that's a good
Yeah,
point,
I mean,
Tom. But
those shows, I mean, I'm sure you could probably find them on YouTube, or you can find them somewhere else. But like, I always thought that those old school Dahlberg shows were really cool because he had his mold and he would go out to his garage and he had his big, he was going down to the Amazon to catch a wolf fish or whatever the heck they're called. But he'd have his mold, he'd throw his little, what's it called, skewer in the middle and put his hooks on and the whole nine. And he'd walk you through the process of how he makes his lures and all that stuff. And I thought that was really cool when he was doing that back in the day.
yeah, that stuff. Yeah, especially now that I've got like into making my baits and painting stuff. Like, dude, there's so much that goes into that. You don't understand what goes into making. Like, if you're going to make baits from scratch like that, that's a ton of hard work. Wesley says, I personally think Randy would look good as a hula girl. Maybe, I don't know. Randy, is that your calling? With coconuts for fish rods. Randall should shave his chin. Shave his chin and leave the pork chops, dude. I rocked pork chops for a long time back in the day. Imagine.
Yeah.
Oops. Why is that side?
You did. It like I do would.
It's all backwards.
I can't do it. So if you do your left hand out in front of you and it shows an L, that's your left hand. So like backwards, forwards. What are these guys saying here?
I don't know. I'm trying to get to some more stuff. What do we have? We're at, what are we at? An hour 26. We'll go for, like, we've still got 240 people on. Damn, you guys are awesome. Yeah, JC says old guys trolling right past it. Yeah, these dudes were just a couple old dudes just loving life and out trying to catch some fish. Yeah, they were just trolling right past, didn't care.
I was thankful I had I was throwing a jig, because otherwise had it been a topwater, middle column, anything like that, he would have grabbed my line with his crankbait 100%.
Yeah. I mean, they were casting right on us. They were just doing their thing, though. It's all right. Man, it hurts. Sean says, man, it hurts breaking off Japanese baits. I haven't gone too far into the JDM stuff. Excuse me. They make some cool stuff, but
can those be overnighted?
Overnight, straight from Japan. Mike with the donation. Mr. Vogel, love my new Debo topwater. Cannot wait to put it in the water. Now stocking the site for the jerk baits to drop. I'll hopefully get some jerk baits up. Thank you so much for the purchase, man. I appreciate that a lot. Everybody that's bought baits, it really does mean a lot to me. I'll try to get some more stuff out there, but hopefully you catch some big fish on it, or at least a dink. So I think we covered. Do we miss anything? So we talked about lure colors. We talked about slumps. I think we kind of went around that. We still got 250 people on. Good Lord.
Yeah, I mean, we can kind of circle back on the slumps and the whole thing like that. I think we touched on it just briefly, and then we kind of went off. Oh, squirrel.
Yeah. There's been a lot of tangents tonight.
Yeah. I know I had a couple other things that I wanted to touch on real quick about slumps and things like that. Unless you want to talk about something first, we can go back to that.
Let's talk about slumps. That was part of the thing, and we haven't really touched it.
So,
time goes too dang quick.
So my biggest thing is, I don't think it was last year. It was the year before. My schedule really freed up where I was getting out before work. Some days I was getting out before work, on my lunch break, and after work. And that was what I was talking about earlier. It was kind of like a forced slump that I got myself into, where I was literally, it was like, taking the idea of an hour to fish a little bit too literal. And just because I have that hour to fish doesn't mean I have to fill up every single hour with fishing. So I kind of brought that on myself, and where I totally agree, the idea of you can't get bucked off the horse and be scared to get back on it. You do need to get back out there, but at the same time, don't don't go crazy. Don't overdo it like what I've done in the past, because then you get to a point where you're just like, I don't even want to fish anymore. It's stupid. I don't know how to fish. I'm a dum dum. I don't get it. And it's not that. It's that I have all these ideas and techniques and blah blah blah, this and that, and I just want to try everything all at once, and I never give that one thing enough time, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like we talked on before, because like you have to take into consideration what time you have to go. Like let's say, especially right now, summer, super hot weather. Generally, your early morning bite's going to be good. Later in the afternoon is going to be good. So let's say you're like Randy and you work. If you only have lunch break to go, don't be upset if you can only go at noon and it's high sky, bluebird skies. That's not the best fishing. So you can't necessarily get down on yourself, when you're looking at all these other guys and gals on Instagram and you see them catching fish. You're like, dude, people are catching fish all the time right now. What am I doing wrong? Well, they could have been out there 10 hours grinding to catch, 5, 6 fish. And though it might be a good limit, they might have caught a 25-pound limit. They might have fished all day to do that. Whereas you only have an hour at noon, one of the worst times, a lot of times to go. So you have to take that into consideration. That's kind of something I've alluded to on social media a few times, is like oftentimes on social media you only see the best out of people, right? Oh, I caught this hog, or every
Right.
other fish they've caught is a PB, but you don't see the times where they struggle. You don't see the times where they don't catch fish. And Randy and I try to put that in there, being as real as we can. We're guys out fishing. Like those days happen. So
And
don't be mad if you have one of those. Take into consideration. Same thing for big fish. The spot you're fishing, literally the biggest bass in there might be a 3-pounder. So
right.
don't be mad if you've only caught a 3-pounder as your PB. Like that may literally be the only biggest bass in your 2-acre pond.
Yeah. So I mean, I to that point, my biggest bass is sub 6. I haven't got a bass over 6 pounds. But at the same time, one of the other things is I don't want to tell you you shouldn't ever fish that secret, special little honey hole thing, but in the same breath, you can't assume that that special little honey hole that is stocked with 5s and 6s and 7s is realistic when it comes to every other body of water.
Right.
There was a point in time where I had access to a really good pond that had some toads in it, and it was like every time I went out, I felt like I was catching a 5, easy catching a 5. But then I kind of got that in my head where I go somewhere else and I'm like, why am I not catching a 5? What's going on here? What am I doing? I'm doing something wrong. Got to try something else. So don't pigeonhole yourself. It's the
Yep.
other little thing I got.
Matt says, you ever tried the Terminator shutter bait? I have. It has kind of a wild, like hunting action. I kind of liked it. I've actually had good luck the couple of times I've used it. It definitely won't replace a chatterbait type lure for me, but it does have definitely a different look to it. And if you haven't seen the shutterbait, it's got this like cupped, I think it's like some sort of polymer front like
Yeah,
lip thing on it.
kind of like a Chapo fin.
Yeah, like it's got a hard, like it's probably just plastic.
That
I'm using
resilience,
funny
yeah.
names. Yeah, like a hard plastic, like cupped thing on the front of it. Instead of having a blade that goes back and forth, it's kind of got this cup thing that hunts. It's cool. It's definitely got a different look. I've actually had good luck on it, but like I said, it won't replace the chatterbait for me. But it's cool. I liked it.
Yeah. Literally, as I started earlier today, like the place where Debo and I went fishing this morning, he dominated, I sucked. And yesterday, I was throwing a shutterbait. And I told Debo about it this morning, and I had a heartbreak of a loss that was, it
Oh,
was
were you
probably
really throwing the
pushing,
shutterbait?
yep, it was probably pushing
Oh, I
five
thought you said a
pounds.
chatterbait.
No, shutterbait, dude.
Oh,
Yep,
wow.
it was, what is it, the dark green, and then that little blade is like almost like a stained green color.
Yep.
Um, I really do like the way that it kind of hunts. Chatterbaits
Yeah.
kind of start doing that, but the shutters, they just go back and forth. Like it's really, if something big like that was coming for me, I would probably try to take it down before it took me down, because it looks really aggressive the way it comes through the water,
It looks like something running, like it looks like something skittering, whereas more of a like the chatterbait's more of just something coming forward and it's got that heavy knocking, like vibrating, whereas
Hmm.
the shutterbait kind of is more erratic, I guess would be the word.
Yeah, yep, and scary.
Scary. Adam says, I've been in a slump for almost a month. Dude, keep fishing, man. I'm telling you, I've been in the same boat. Keep fishing. Like, fishing is a game of numbers. I'll die on that hill. The more you can get out and fish, the more you can fish like different scenarios, different spots, different conditions, the better you'll get. Because literally it can be a difference between 3 days. Like, I mean, I can't tell you the number of times where I've had a crappy day literally the day before that's been awful. And I've struggled to catch one fish, and the next day I've gone out and had just a killer day. So it's a game of numbers. Like, there's some people that try to time the fishing game and only go out on those quote unquote good days. Kind of like we had today, it was overcast, rainy, but still Randy struggled to catch anything, a couple fish, whereas I found a bunch. Like, it just depends on how you fish. And my thing is get out all the time. If you can, get out.
Adam,
you have free time for it.
Adam, I would say, dude, whatever you're throwing right now, maybe just set that aside and grab something totally random. Like, if you've done any mystery tackle boxes, kind of things like that, if you got some kind of random bait, just grab it, throw it on, and try to not put all your money into it, but just throw it and see what happens,
Fish in the Southeast, he's always in here as well. He wins every other giveaway, it seems like, on these channels. He says he's back. I apologize, I didn't see your stuff before, man, but thank you for joining. They didn't sell as well as hoped. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, Fat Boy wants to run it until 10. That's way past DEBO'S bedtime.
Oh, yeah, dude, that's way past my bedtime. I'm old now. Usually, like, I shouldn't say that because I'm up late working on crap. That's kind of the grind of YouTube and stuff and having a family. But I try to be in bed every night at 11 o'clock now. Like, that's my bedtime. In bed, ready to go to bed. We still got 250 people on. Damn, you guys are awesome. We'll go for another, we'll go for an hour 45, maybe 10 more minutes. We've still got 250 people on. Screw it. We'll talk. Let's see. I saw another good one coming here. I think we had a donation. Let me get that donation real quick. Dustin, thank you for the donation. This is why we watch Debo. You keep it real for the common angler. Keep it up. By the way, caught my bigs in that pick on a frog and swim jig. Hell yeah, man. Dude, is this the same Dustin Taylor tournament? Dustin Taylor? Dustin, are you talking about the tournament? Are you still in here, fishing here locally? I don't know if that's the same Dustin that I know. But, yeah, dude, I mean, I'm just a guy that I've got a family, I work, and that's not just something I say. I mean, look at my basement. I mean, a regular house, regular window that's converted into a vent over there. I'm not some pro. Randy and I love to fish, dude.
Dustin's still in here. We need to go back to Brando also.
Dustin. I want to pick Dustin's brain. Hopefully sometime I'll be able to pick with Dustin. Fish with Dustin. Dustin's a hammer here locally. I would love to fish with you and pick your brain, man. You definitely know how to sling the lures. Especially telling me that you caught him on a frog. I'm jealous because this has not been the frog year for me. So go back to Brando. I think once you're done with this, I know I've seen it at least 2 times. Where's Brando?
Talking about hair jigs.
I
personally know I've heard of hair jigs, but more so on the river.
Yep, go ahead.
I personally have a few hair jigs, but I've never really thrown them. I haven't really looked into it a whole lot as far as, the difference between a hair jig, regular jig, different jig, that jig, this jig. But like I said, I have a few, and I would totally be down to throw some more. I just don't know that much about them, other than you can get like an artificial hair jig, but then I guess they use a lot of horsehair for hair jigs also.
Horsehair?
Yeah, and Dave just said hair jigs for crappie, so smaller stuff, not necessarily like a big. And they're not even big. They're weird, man. They're really weird.
Yeah, I know it's like a big northern thing. I honestly don't fish hair jigs much as far as for bass. I did used to fish. I don't think I have any anymore. They were in that box that got all melted, but I had a ton of the little like 16th ounce jig heads that were wrapped, and you had like the hair and back for crappie. Oh yeah, dude. When I was younger, I threw the hell out of those things. But like when you're talking about like somebody just had one on like the Outcast, I think Seth Fighter has like his hair jig through the Outcast stuff. And I remember our Gander Mountain had a ton of those, and they went pretty quick. But I'm not a big hair jig guy
too, didn't they?
Yeah, hence hair jig. Yeah, they actually people when they get their haircut, these companies go into places where they get
Do you
haircuts
guys
and they
honestly
steal it.
see what I have to deal with when we're out fishing? He's just like he doesn't even do a good job of being sarcastic or just like trying to slide it in there. Me on the other hand, I do an amazing job at that stuff, but
Yeah,
like
you're a sarcastic jerk. Shout out to Brando. He actually helped me get my website and stuff running. Brando's another local guy. Hopefully, we'll be fishing soon, very soon. Brando's a good cat, but yeah, Brando, I honestly don't fish the hair jigs. I know a lot of guys like it for like that cold water. So if you ever look at, I actually had a conversation with somebody on this. They're like, well, there's nothing in the water that has hair. That's stupid. If you look at like a hair jig underwater versus like a rubber skirt or even like living rubber jig, like literally the smallest amount of movement and that hair is like moving, tingling.
it's very good, very, very
It's
good.
yeah, it's a weird look underwater. I can't help you
And
there, man. I did get
different
some of
types
these
of hair
though.
react differently also.
These are
Yeah,
these are prayer jigs from Cumberland Lures. I've had the is that focusing?
put the jig a little bit more in the middle of your hand, or the head of the jig in the middle of your hand a little bit more. Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Can you see that?
Yeah, that's
So
a
I've
little
had
better.
the opportunity to talk to these guys. Super nice folks over there. They've actually got some prayer jigs, which is like a mix of like almost this marabou hair and feathers.
Hey
So it
there.
looks really big, but once you get it wet, like all this stuff comes down really slender. And again, it's got that really natural action for fishing out deep. I know a lot of guys do it. Unfortunately, when it comes to fishing deep, I am not the guy to talk to. I am not a fishing
Right.
deep offshore guy. I know a lot of guys use these, and I picked up some of these from Cumberland. Maybe I'll tie some of these on. And a lot of guys swear by them because literally you can do nothing with it and get a lot of action out of it.
I mean, I'm
So
seeing a lot of those. They almost have a head like it would be like an underspin head almost.
these
You
do
know
a
what I
lot of the
mean?
hair jigs have like a round, even like a mushroom type head for just slowly bouncing and stuff.
Yeah, they're
But
different. Maybe we should just try doing that
I need to
sometime.
hit the lottery. I need to hit the lottery, win a couple million, get us a bass boat, and we can try fishing.
Dude, we just need like we don't need a couple million. We can just do it better than
Or are
that.
they called preacher jigs? No,
I'm
this is a prayer jig. Look,
You
Cumberland
get a little
Pro
closer, yeah.
prayer jig, half ounce, black magic pearl shimmer. Thought it was the black pearl. Tell me if you know that reference. Haven't caught a fish. My guy Will says haven't caught a fish in maybe 4 or 5 weeks. Go out at least 1 or 2 days a week. Dude, that's the thing. I mean, it can literally be one day you go out in the week and it could just be that bad day. It could be the bad time. I'm telling you, dude, nobody goes out and fishes and was like, oh, dude, that was such a horrible mistake. I hate fishing, right? Like, you still have a good time even if you're not catching them. Keep going out and fishing. Keep going. Keep
I
going.
would say if you're going 1 to 2 days a week, if you're currently looking at forecasts and stuff like that, throw that out the window and go off of what you normally would. If you're not looking at forecast, maybe try doing that as well. Take a look at it, look at the pressure and all that stuff, moons and suches, and just try doing something a little bit different. If you can go back and look, maybe you were, fishing on those hard days, something different to try.
My guy Finn Addict in the house. Finn Addict sent me, and I forget, is it Mr. Dare or Mr. Bear? I mixed it up when you sent us the jigs. I apologize, man. But your jigs are awesome. Love those. I think he actually sent me something saying, dude, now that you're making your own jigs, do I not need to send anymore? But he sent us the black and blue jigs, but he said he ties
Oh yeah, yeah.
bucktail on his buzz baits. Um,
Um,
yeah, bucktail, a lot of the guys use the bucktail stuff. There's like the marabou, the flashabou, all kinds of stuff you can get into in lure making. That's what makes it fun is like, I don't care if I don't make millions off of making lures. Like it's literally therapy for me that I can do anytime. Even during the winter, I can paint baits. And it's like therapy. Like I'll just throw my headphones on and just paint. And it's fun to see what I can come up with. If people like it, awesome. If people don't,
like
William,
realistically, dude, your baits don't get like taking a picture of them don't actually get the true
it's
depth
hard,
and
man.
detail of
It's
what
hard.
they actually look like. And I'm not trying to fly the Debo flag here and toot your horn too much, but I think you do an amazing job, man. You
Thanks,
like
brother.
do awesome job.
I just want to let you know if I ever kick you in, I'll jump back in after you too, man. I appreciate that. William Sully said, Debo, is that a 13 fishing shirt? Was in Clearwater on vacation and stopped by their office for a real repair, great customer service, and I'm guessing threw in some swim mates to take home. It is a 13 fishing shirt. Woo. I got this, man. I don't remember where I got this a long time ago for basically, I think it was like a $5 shirt. Yeah, we were just talking about Randy actually just got
what was that reel? Let's go back to that reel real quick before we talk about that rod. What was that all about?
We've got 15 seconds. We've got 15 seconds to talk about this and we're done. I'm kidding. We're going to go past
all right,
15.
well, we're done, I guess. So thanks, guys.
All right, guys. Good video. Out. Let's see. It was the 13 fishing
TX?
Concept TX. I've got Tech Warehouse up now. Actually,
it wasn't the TX.
On. You know what? Now that I've figured out the all the shenanigans and craziness that is sharing your screen,
it was
check this out.
Gray and orange, was it? And then the TX
no, it was green.
Like
oh, you're talking about the Z, the Concept Z slide or whatever that we were looking at.
Yeah,
we hit a local tackle shop
flippy button.
We were looking at stuff. Yeah.
The flippy button thing is what I was kind of talking to. Versus, with the brake thing that you were talking about, however that worked.
Bring it up here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll show this real quick. We're about to get out of here, but since we still have 230 people on, we're talking reels. So Randy was just saying, like I've said on the past, like 2 or 3 videos or lives. Dude, I can't believe we haven't heard anything out of 13, and they have been bringing stuff out. Was it this one? TX2? It was this one.
No, I mean that one was
there. It was a $300 reel.
So it was the dark gray frame with the orange accents. I think it's that one.
Yeah, this was the other one. Can you guys see it? Am I sharing? Okay.
Yeah.
So these were the 2 we were looking at, and 13 Fishing has this new Z slide. I think this is actually interesting. Paul Glass over at the Burley Fishing Podcast. I think I have their hat on tonight, right? Oh no, I don't.
AKA Debo Doppelganger. Yeah,
my doppelganger. Paul showed this when he was at iCast at the 13 Fishing booth. So this is kind of interesting. So the 13 Fishing reels historically have all had internal brakes. So like on the Concept Z, this is the new one. You pop the side plate off, and I think they're all connected, which is nice. But you adjust the brakes inside. But this Z slide, this little slider bar is like 1 brake. So for example, if this has 6 brakes inside, and you put 2 of the internal centrifugal brakes on, if you put 2 of the 6 on, you can push this forward to give it 1 more. So it'd be like having 3 on, and push it back, it would go back to 2. So it's like a quick adjust on the fly, which I actually thought was kind of interesting. Now, Randy and I joked, we're like, or you could just buy a bait caster that has magnetic brakes on the outside. You don't have to worry about that. Yeah. But I think this design is kind of cool, especially on any sort of centrifugal brake reel. Usually I am only going between 1 or 2. Like on the SLX, I usually run 2. Right. Sometimes if it's kind of windy, I'll open it up and put 1 more on, 3.
And I think I would traditionally go the opposite of what you're kind of describing it as, is I would leave it in that forward position, that extra brake position, and have it be able to pull 1 off if I need it versus having that extra one. I traditionally go heavy on my brakes versus what you do, because I don't like thumbing it. I just want to huck it out there and not have to worry about doing any of that fancy thumb stuff.
Right.
So I go a little bit heavier on my brakes. I'd like to be able to flip that down, especially if I'm switching between, lure sizes,
Now, the other thing I like about 13, I've said this for a while, and I know some people think it's stupid, but I have a really bad habit of putting my hook on the frame of the bait caster. And what they've done is put this little indent here with this piece of, I don't know if this is aluminum or plastic. I'd have to look on mine, but it's got a place here where you can actually put your hook so it doesn't scratch up your frame. I love it. I know some people say, oh, it's a stupid gimmick, but I'm notorious for doing that. And especially if you want to keep your reel looking good, no problem. I think it's a cool bait caster. I might have to pick that one up. I
I
haven't looked
do
at
really
any of
like.
the.
I like the idea that they have like I don't know if it's for all of them. I know I have a Concept C, and on the Concept C, it's got all of those replacement parts. I've talked about it different times before, but haven't ever popped on it. I might just go crazy and do like a Franken reel or something, and just get nothing that matches and just have it look gaudy and ugly. But
This was the other one we looked at that said it looked like a super small profile and frame. I didn't
oh,
realize
it's
that was a
this.
$300 reel when we looked at that.
Dude,
That's
can you
crazy.
find the um, was it a Concept C2? C2, I
I
think.
don't know if they have it. Oh yeah, excuse me. Here it is.
Yeah,
That was the
that
other one.
I thought the C2 looked. It just looked really weird. It looked like it was way too tall for how thin it was.
I think it's just the way it would
But
sit, but it did look really small. What's the line capacity on this? Usually like 110 for.
I think it's got a deep spool on
That's
it, though. It
pretty
looked
normal.
like.
Yeah, that's really normal. 110 or 120 for
I feel like you would get
10 to
too
12
much. You would overpower that with your hand, like how it looked anyway. It looked like a really, really small reel.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get one. I don't get a ton of questions on it, but I still like the 13 stuff. It seems like they've kind of taken. I don't know. Some people don't have like a good thing to say about them. It's kind of like, oh, whatever. It's 13, but I had the Concept A and then the SZ. I liked them.
I like my Concept C as soon as okay. So super new comment of the live here. I know I've said this before out loud, and I hate the fact that I have to. But when I first got a Concept C, I would totally different life situation, and I was like, "Yep, give me that one. That's the one I want." I didn't even ask how much it was, and it ended up being like
I
almost
remember
three
that day
hundred,
still when you
almost
called me.
being like almost $300 for this thing, and I was like, "Eesh." And then I'm casting, casting,
They already
casting,
had it. They already had it lined up, and they were going to check you
spooled
out. And you're
up the
like,
whole
well,
nine. Yeah,
I guess I'm doing
I'm
it.
like, well, yeah, I got to do it now. And so like I'm throwing this thing, and I'm like, me and Debo when I get back into town after buying it, I was like, dude, this rod feels good. I like the grips. I like everything about it, but I can't cast it. I can't cast it every time I try to. Bird's nest like crazy, rat's nest. It's horrible. I hate this thing. I spent almost $300 on it, and I don't even want it anymore. And he's like, did did you adjust the brakes on the inside?
Wait, what?
I didn't even know there were brakes on the
That's the
inside.
thing. Yeah, I mean, that's nothing to be ashamed of. Is like, so many of the bait casters we're used to is just the external magnetic, brakes. None of these showed them. I'm not showing or sharing now, am I? Ah,
You are now.
there we go. None of these show up, but yeah, you pop this off, and the good thing about these, like the A and C, it's all a connected side plate. So that's something that I think totally makes sense. Like some of the companies will have a connected side plate when it's like external brakes. It's like, why put that in there? Why waste the money? But if it's
Right.
something like this where you have to pop it open and get in there to do the brakes, as long as it's connected, I don't find a big deal with it. Like they're not. It takes just a quick second to get in there and adjust them.
And they have
Um,
that little lever, not a lever, but that button thing that you almost push in there.
yeah, it doesn't show
Um,
any of it on here. It kind of sucks. I don't know if the like the Concept A.
just do an image. Nah, don't do an image search. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, it doesn't really show it, but yeah, the side plate pops off and it stays on. I don't have my 13 reels by me, but I mean, I don't know. I've used this one. I had the old Concept A. I liked it. I thought it was a solid reel. So yeah, I'd definitely be down to try one. 275 seems like a little bit steep for that, though. I don't know how. I mean, for what the Zillion is a $340 reel, I want to say. So for 60, $70 more, you get that. And I think that, I mean, that's the best reel I've got. But I don't know. That one's kind of catching my eye. Orange has been my favorite color for a long time, so I'm going to break down and get it. Who knows? Let's see. What else we got for questions? We're at almost 9:30. I think we'll go to 9:30 here. Nick said, man, you got 200 people on here. Go to 9:30. Screw it. We'll go to 9:30. Let's see. So we'll take 3 more questions. That's what the deal's going to be. Oh, my gosh. Where'd Randall go?
Let me back in, dude.
There you are.
I have no idea what happened. It's like Streamlabs just like kicked me out, and I'm like sitting here trying to talk to you, and then I realized I was
It
backstage.
put you in bully jail. Quit being a bully to me, and it wouldn't do that. Yeah, Fat Boy, I agree. That dark green orange is pretty cool looking. Okay, so 3 questions. Y'all got to throw the questions out there. 3 questions. Let's do the rapid fire type thing. y'all leave like a this or that type question.
I got a question for the very end too.
Okay, what?
But very end?
Great Bad. Yeah, he said you like the Zillion more than my Metanium. I do. I have both, and I would throw that Zillion all day over that Metanium. And I think the Metanium's like $400 and something dollars.
Favorite pizza?
Zillion's my favorite, hands down.
Get it.
My favorite pizza, I've said it before, ham and pineapple. Love it. I love the sweet and kind of salty. I'll eat any pizza though. I love pizza. It's like even bad pizza is good. So
I dig on like I do full on Supreme. Like I want everything on there.
Supreme.
Yep. But my issue is like you make a homemade Supreme the way that I want it. You can like literally any oven can like consumer oven does not get hot enough to cook that crust enough.
Yeah, that's the problem with like home oven. Like you can't beat that super hot because like what are the like pizza ovens are ridiculous hot.
Well, then they have those ones that are the brick oven ones that they're like, oh, you want a pizza?
Like, you can't leave it in the same spot.
In 60 seconds.
Okay, so we talked pizza. What else? Okay, wacky or weightless. So I'm assuming they're saying like wacky or Texas rigged weightless. Most of the time, as a bank angler, I would go Texas rigged weightless stick bait over wacky.
Am I being dumb right now, or aren't they both weightless?
They are. I think he's just saying like a wacky
presentation,
like a weightless Texas rig. Yeah,
I would go weightless.
Yep. Yeah, I would go with the weightless Texas rig again because of the weedlessness. Will Junkin, nacho cheese or Cool Ranch Doritos? I'm ranch anything all day. I'm ranch.
Dude, have you tried the new 3D ones?
No, but I'd get ranch flavor.
But okay, so they have the 3D. They have them in nacho cheese.
That wasn't the question.
Cool
nacho
Ranch.
Cheese or Cool Ranch, Randall.
But here's what I'm saying is those 3D ones, they are spicy. Spicy nacho cheese and spicy Cool Ranch Dorito. I'm throwing the money down. Jordan fadeaway Cool Ranch Doritos. Boom, put it on the board.
Ranch, I like it. Roland, favorite fishing snack / lunch to pack with you? Biscuits and gravy. Stop at Casey's, get biscuits.
I was just gonna say whatever Casey's has in the warmer, like slice of pizza.
Whatever Casey's has, biscuits and gravy. So that's like a local chain here in the Midwest. Oh yeah, I don't like beef jerky because it gets stuck in my teeth, and if I don't have like floss, I like nuts. So if I could have like a thing of cashews or like trail mix.
Oh, trail mix sans the raisins.
I don't mind a few raisins, but a lot of places really try to cheat you with putting 2/3 raisin. Like, come on, guys, stop that. But I definitely like a sprinkle of raisins in there. I enjoy raisins. Let's see, what else we got? And it just skipped. Damn it, quit doing that. Rob must have said something funny. Will was laughing at Rob. What did Rob say up here? Too slow, Will. I don't know. William Soley. Nitro boat guys are a paddle board. So you've got the what's the word?
This is like what's worse?
Yeah, the stuffy jerk that makes fun of my aluminum kayak versus paddle boarders. I don't know. I'd say it depends. It depends on the people. I ran into some really nice guys on a nitro boat the other day who were cool.
I would say paddle boarders are kind of worse because, oh God, I'm taking that back. I can't answer this. I plead the
fifth. Dave, oh my gosh, Dave, my guy. Beets and cheese or sardines and crackers. We were just talking about this.
Oh my God.
I posted on my live on Instagram. Like we've been canning stuff. My dad has a big, huge garden. So I had canned pickled beets, like fresh out of the garden. Dude, so good. I ate like a whole thing one night. I just had another one cracked open and I had some cheddar cheese sticks dropped in there, eating some of those. He was laughing at me saying, what is mom not home making supper for you? I said, no, I just love this. I said, it's my snack. He said, that's funny. I'm eating sardine and crackers. I'm like, dude, I love sardine and crackers. That's my winter snack.
I do got to say Debo is that jerk that brings sardine and crackers into like a tight confined area and just cracks it open when everybody's in there. Oh, yeah.
I'll do that without shame. I'll have either of those, Dave. If you're ever with me, I'll provide the beets and cheese or sardine and crackers. We'll hang out and talk. Okay, one more. Dang man makes question whether or not one more. Numbers, Will Junkin, Confidence Lure,
Yeah, I'm
In-N-Out
not
Burger,
seeing
or
any
Zombie
questions.
Burger? I've never had
Oh,
In-N-Out Burger. Isn't that like more of a southern
and
thing?
it's West Coast, I think.
Hmm. We have Zombie Burger here. They're good. Yeah, I had a Zombie Burger. I liked it a lot.
In-N-Out's pretty good. Zombie is like very specialty, and specialty you can just get a little too specialty sometimes.
Nick says, I
Um,
offended my friend in person because he said he doesn't like Cool Ranch. Idiot.
that's valid. I think that's valid. Somebody said beanie
Debo is
weenies and crackers. Real quick, helpful tip. If you make like your homemade baked beans and they're too runny and you want to thicken it up, throw some unflavored powdered mashed potatoes in there. Thickens it right up. No extra flavor.
Interesting. Okay, last one we're taking from our Iowa guy, Chris. Sausage or bacon breakfast pizza?
Holy
I don't care as long as it's the breakfast pizza that has the biscuits and gravy. They make that here at Casey's. Like
the
it's
gravy
specialty. They'll
sauce.
do they'll do the gravy sauce with like sausage and like white cheese on it to die for. But they never have it in like the warmer. It's always just the regular like eggs, cheese, sausage,
Right.
bacon,
I mean,
whatever.
they have usually both of those options, the sausage and bacon, but it's like that weird kind of whiz
Like cheese,
cheese
cheese whiz
sauce.
sauce stuff. Yeah. When it comes to that, I'll have either. All right.
I'm going
Whatever.
bacon.
We're getting out of here, feasting friends. We've been on for, I don't know, too long. 2 hours. Oh, my gosh. Love you all. Thank you so much for joining. We'll be back again next week, Saturday night, talking breakfast, pizza, fish and lures, whatever else comes in. But love you all. Thanks for watching. Until next time.